The real problem that we have in using local elections as a kind of foretelling of what would happen in a general election is the mayoralties are such very different elections. Andy Street has been a very independent mayor. He has distanced himself from the Conservative Party when it's been required, but he is also very much a Conservative.
The actor Kevin Spacey says he cannot allow himself to be baselessly attacked ahead of a Channel 4 documentary. It's expected to contain claims of historical sexual misconduct by him, dating back as much by 50 years. He's denied the allegations and his lawyers say he was given insufficient time to respond to them, something Channel 4 denies. A suspected XL bully dog breeding farm has been raided by police in Sheffield, with South Yorkshire Police seizing 22 animals from the site. Ownership of the breed is restricted under the Dangerous Dogs Act. Officers say the animals were in appalling conditions. Delegates from Hamas have arrived in Egypt for talks aimed at achieving a ceasefire deal in Gaza, as well as the release of Israeli hostages. Our correspondent Anna Foster says Hamas and Israel are hoping to achieve different goals.
From Israel's point of view, of course, its priority at the moment is trying to ensure the release of all the remaining hostages that are being held in Gaza. One of Hamas's key priorities is to try and get some sort of agreement towards a permanent ceasefire rather than a temporary one. So while it seems that the two sides are moving closer together, there is still a disconnect, I think, on that point, and I think also on the number of hostages to be released.
Drivers are being warned to allow more time for travel along a section of the A1 in Gateshead as more roadworks begin there. A contraflow is in place from today till summer between junction 65 for Birtley and 66 for Ayton Lodge. Though the number of lanes will remain the same, National Highways are still warning drivers to take care. To football, Newcastle will move to 6th if they win at relegated threatened Burnley today. But Eddie Howe's side have struggled on their travels in the Premier League this season, with just 4 victories away from St James's Park.
Our home form's been really good and our away form hasn't. We're well aware of that. I think I've always tried to, in management, focus on the game, not where it's played.
SGS's last game of the season, nothing to play for. Let's go defensively again.
A very good team and we're fluent
After
and
back
our
and
best.
carry 2-0 today. Hello, Danny.
Flashes
right,
of
mate?
us at our very best.
We'll bring you commentary on Burnley against Newcastle from 3.
2-0.
Meanwhile, Mike Dodds takes charge of Sunderland for the final time as interim head coach soon. Sheffield Wednesday still need a point to make sure they avoid relegation, and that, Dodds says, gives the game an edge.
Hello, Marion.
I've spoken to the players about that. I think it's got the potential to be a really good day in terms of, the absolute minimum we can offer the fans is a good bank holiday weekend and a win to go away in the summer, and I think they have to try and get a result.
We'll have full commentary with our build-up just about to start ahead of kick-off in just half an hour's time. And the weather for the northeast, a cloudy day with some showers, but also the chance of a few sunny spells.
Yeah, it's that.
That's your BBC
End
Radio
of season
Newcastle
feel
News. For
today.
updates anytime, you can ask your smart speaker to play BBC News for the northeast.
Total Sport Northeast.
The
sound of Sunderland.
As Ahmad plays it back to O'Nien. Into the penalty area, Pritchard, back to Sirkin. Oh, what a goal! Did it again! Dennis Sirkin, what a goal! Little tap from Roberts through to Ahmad, who shoots. Oh!
Great sport kicks off here.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
And welcome to the Stadium of Light, 25 minutes until kick-off. I'll give you the team news in just a second. Players warming up, wearing white shorts this afternoon as a tribute to Charlie Hurley. There will be tributes to the King up to kick-off. They will run out to the Z-Cars theme. There will be wreaths laid in the centre of the pitch before kick-off. There'll be a minute's applause. There's already been a minute's silence and a commemoration at the Charlie Hurley gates in the southwest corner here at the Stadium of Light this afternoon. So that's all to come. Benno's alongside of me. Probably no bad thing that we've got these tributes to Charlie Hurley today, bearing in mind the mood in the footballing camp. Indeed. Sunderland. And the team, well, interesting. Bishop in goal this afternoon for various reasons, which I think probably, if people look at social media, probably know. So Bishop in goal, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien and Elise, but I think we'll have 3 at the back. Ballard, O'Nien and Elise. Hume and Styles we expect to be the wing backs. Ekwa, Roberts starts this afternoon, I think largely on the basis that he always scores against Sheffield Wednesday. Sheesh, Clark and Jobe. Roberts hasn't scored yet this season. Sheffield Wednesday.
Alan Ray, hello, how are you doing? I hope you're well today.
What is going to give first?
Well, we'd be happy if Sunderland score first, score a goal, keep a clean sheet, and go and win the game. We know how important it is to Sheffield Wednesday. They've got to make sure that they get a result here this afternoon, because again the results can go against them. But it's how Sunderland finished the season. Yes, I know it's the last game and people think, yeah, we've got nothing to play for, but you know, at the end of the day, I think, you know, Dodds will want them to go out on a good note.
Very interesting press conference from Mike Dodds yesterday.
Diola.
Yes, indeed. A lot of people talking about it. Some of his comments directed at the players, and one can't help but think he's basically putting it out there that he's trying to make sure people know that when he steps down, it's not all down to him, is what he's saying. And I guess that's fair enough. He's been thrown into a position which is between a rock and a hard place.
Absolutely.
But it seems very strange now, right at the end. It seems to be a bit of a blame game going on.
Well, it looks like there is a blame game, but we've talked about this before, Nick, you know, in regards of some of the comments which have come out from in regards of him having a quiet word with certain players, bringing them to one side. And you've got to say, yes, it's difficult for him, because 1 minute he's the first team coach, that next minute he's the so-called caretaker manager. So again, he's got to put a different hat on, he's got to treat him differently, and maybe some of the players might not have shown him the respect which he deserves. But again, when I say we've been here before, we've heard it before. And what I mean by that is that we've heard certain comments in regards of throwing, what we say, people under the bus, players. And no matter what, you as a manager or somebody who's fronting a team, you've got to stick by him, you've got to protect him no matter what. And yeah, okay, we can touch on the Patterson situation. These things happen, but again, that's where you've got to manage that player and the situation.
Well, I mean, in this situation, they do seem to. I mean, Dodds has clearly bowed to, you've stepped out of line effectively 24 hours before a game, and it's cost you your place.
Yeah, it has cost him his place, but again, he's mostly been able to do it maybe to half a dozen players who, unfortunately, they have these so-called awards before the end of the season finishes, and we all know what happens when you're in drink.
Yeah, it feels a bit weird.
Get one or two things off your chest.
Kick off.
Speak your mind, as they say. And sometimes, again,
anybody who's coming in
the manager himself or whoever they're speaking to, depends on how they take it.
What we have between the 2-0
will that have
Charlie
something
Hurley
in the changing rooms where the players themselves are thinking,
Sheffield Wednesday crest, we have Jack Shields,
such and such a person's not playing, or
last few days
what I've said, and
Jack
he's
Shields
holding it against me.
A devoted Sunderland fan. Part
well,
of
I think it's largely to do with what time he got home on Friday morning, more than anything other than. But I mean, the bottom line is, and I've had a couple of conversations about this today and last week, actually, is I'm not quite sure that holding your Player of the Year awards 2 nights before a match is a great idea.
Well, again, you know, you're holding a Players Award. Again, I know we've done it a few times before the end of the season.
I think I'm expecting.
But I don't see why we can't do it
today,
at the end of the season.
Well, someone suggested Sunday night.
No, they could have done.
But there you go. It is what it is, as Tony Mowbray would have said. But it has had consequences. One of which is Bishop makes his, I think it is his debut, isn't it, this afternoon in goal.
Would he have made the change? Can I ask you this question?
No, he wouldn't have done.
Would he have made the change if there was something on this game?
No, I mean, I'm pretty categorical in my own mind that Patterson would have played today. So
you know, and then you're thinking, well, that's about managing the situation. You know, what happens if he would have been trying to get in the playoffs or going for promotion or fighting off relegation?
Well, that's my point about why have the dinner on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Because it could have been, because Sunderland's form is such, this could have been a relegation fight.
And then, on the other hand, Nick, you've got to look on it from another point of view, is that there's other teams which are down there and they must be thinking, well, hold on a minute, Sunderland are not taking this game serious.
Fair point.
You know, they're going out there, and if the performance isn't very good, then what are you going to put it down to? Something what's happened on Thursday night or Wednesday night?
Yeah, well, let's hear from the Sunderland interim head coach. It's his last game in charge this afternoon. I spoke with Mike Dodds yesterday morning.
Last one. Relieved, pleased, excited?
Excited because it's got the potential to be a really good day if we execute what we need to execute. Hoping it's going to be a really good game because obviously they've got everything to play for.
Yeah. Cheers, Mr. Speed Demon. I've just loaded the commentary down a second there. So let me know, Mr. Speed Demon 666, if you can hear me. Is that better? But yeah, I do appreciate if there's anything you'd like to change sound-wise, let me know so I can change it. We were just listening to Dribble Drabble from Mike Dodds at the minute.
I've done. I appreciate what some of the narrative's going to be in terms of, you know, I sat here at the start and said I'm going to be judged by winning and losing, and ultimately that's what I will be judged by. But I've had a huge amount to deal with, which a lot of people won't appreciate. I don't want to sit here and make excuses, but I've had, as I said a few times, I think I've had quite a difficult hand to deal with in terms of player availability, in terms of fixtures, in terms of one or two things internally. So yeah, I'm really proud of what I've done because it was a completely different experience for me. It's okay, obviously early in the season I took them for 3 games and things went really well, and as I said, the transition was a really smooth transition. This period's been a lot clunkier in terms of trying to get the group where we want them to get to, but from a personal standpoint it will stand me in really good stead moving forward in terms of whatever my future looks like. There's a tinge of disappointment because I know how important this club is to thousands and thousands of people, and obviously the type of character I am, I want to try and please as many of those people as I can, so there's a tinge of disappointment there, but obviously I'm not going to sit here and tell you the ins and outs of everything that goes on every single day. You know, I'll go home on Saturday evening really proud of the things that I've had to deal with.
Do you feel slightly caught between a rock and a hard place because I guess it was common sense to give you the interim job with a number of games left, but as you say, it's perhaps slightly unfair because in the future people will just look at that column of win, loss and draws and draw conclusions from that.
To a degree. I think anyone that will just look at the win, lose,
There we are. I've just turned that up, D Hall. I've just turned the radio up. Just let me know if the balance is right now. See if you can hear that. Okay.
With all due respect, I don't want to work for them. You know, there is like anything. You can. It depends on what lens you're looking through. You can find stats to pull out positives. You can find stats to pull out negatives. That's football. And I think a lot of the very best managers at the highest level do that. They push a narrative, and they're quite clever at it in terms of this is what we've done, and they're very clever at manipulating that narrative. But unfortunately, that's just not my character. I think I'm quite a well-grounded, humble guy, and I will always. I've tried my hardest.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. As long as you can hear that, fine.
I could have done.
Spot on. Thanks, guys.
The facts are I've lost more than I've won. They're the facts, and that's something that I'll have to stomach. But as I said, I'll go back to my point. There's been a huge amount that I've had to deal with, which, and I've said this 1,000 times, you have the most experienced managers sat here, and I'm not sure what they could have done differently. My personal opinion.
Is there anything you'd have done differently looking back over those 13 games? Is there any game that you think actually perhaps I should have done this or that?
Yeah, the first game was a real disappointment for me because I think I tried to run before I could walk, and that was a huge eye-opener for me in terms of that first 30 minutes probably. That was an eye-opener in terms of where the group's at physically, mentally, that I couldn't do what I did last time, so I had to strip one or two things back and reevaluate where the squad was. So that was a huge eye-opener for me. Obviously, the Blackburn game is something that I have a huge amount of disappointment for because I didn't see that coming. And although I love the group and I think we've got a really, we should be really proud of the group we've got. It hurts when you come away and you feel like you've done everything from your perspective, and maybe that hasn't been executed on the other side.
There we go.
So they're probably 2 points that probably the first two that kind of stick out to me in terms of the
Hutch, I've just turned that up a bit.
As I said, I could sit here and spin loads of positives. There's a few that I'm really, really proud of, but yeah, they'll probably be the two.
So there I was, frozen under the ice. I came back from the dead.
On BBC iPlayer.
He hasn't taught for half a century.
A man from 1979 takes on the modern world.
Next window.
My next window's tomorrow night. Over.
Mammoth. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Total Sport North East.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Mike Dodds talking ahead of the game yesterday morning. An interesting press conference. I mean, you've only heard a snippet of it there. Benno, Rob Mason, Sunderland club historian's with us as well this afternoon. We're going to talk about Charlie Hurley, Derek Forster in a moment. But just a quick chat about Mike Dodds, what he said yesterday, because it's been a talking point. A lot of people have picked up on the fact that he's said the players have let him down this season. He says he could have had a narrative yesterday of trying to list all the positives, but that's not the sort of coach that he is. There have been a lot of things happening behind the scenes that haven't been right. There's been a lot of things that have derailed what he's been trying to do over these 13 games. He talked at length yesterday about picking up from someone like Michael Beale, picking up from someone like Tony Mowbray. It's just underlined that whoever they appoint this summer, they have got to get it right.
Absolutely, yes, 100% they've got to get it right. It's always a very, very big decision when you appoint a new head coach. It seems especially a big decision now because Sunderland, as we complete this season, we complete the 7th season out of the top level. That's longer than the club have ever been out of the top level before, and we don't want to be out of the top level any longer than we absolutely need to be. So Sunderland need to make a serious push for promotion next season. Obviously they did very, very well last year to get to the playoffs, having just come out of League One. And this season, you know, they've fallen back from that after a promising start in the first half of the season. We've still got these players. I've heard people from the hierarchy of the club talking about, publicly, about the fact that the model
a lot of the fans
will be tweaked in the summer. You know, we will bring in some experienced players to go with the younger lads. That'll be good. But the essential thing is whoever's the head coach has got to be somebody who is given time. You know, we don't expect anybody to come in and have a miracle and suddenly have the team playing brilliantly in the first month of the season and everything going well. You know, it's a 46-game season, and come the end of next season, when we're looking at this game now, a rare opportunity for Sunderland to have an end-of-season game that doesn't mean an awful lot to Sunderland in terms of league position. I know it's a massive game for Sheffield Wednesday, and although, let me say, though I obviously want Sunderland to win this afternoon, I also want the other results to go well for Sheffield Wednesday to stay up. Great club, great fans. You know, I have a great deal of respect for Sheffield Wednesday. But for Sunderland, when we're looking at the last game of next season, we need to already be having a celebration because we've already got promoted, or we need to be in there fighting for points for an automatic promotion position. A playoff position should be a second best for Sunderland next season, because you've still got to then beat 3 other good teams, or beat 2 of the 3 other good teams to go through. Now, I know that's a tall order from where we are now, but that has to be the aim for Sunderland next season. And if we're going to get anywhere near that aim, you're quite right. The appointment of the manager or head coach and the recruitment of the new players to go with the players we hopefully retain, they've got to get it right. 100% got to get it right. But easier said than done.
Yeah. But what would you as a player have made of what Mike Dodd said yesterday?
I just picking up what he said, it seems as though, as though there's lots and lots of problems behind the scenes. Now, you would have thought somebody of Mike Dodd's stature would have picked up. He's picked up loads from the likes of Tony Mowbray, but again, he's sort of maybe what I picked up, that he's been a little bit critical of Tony Mowbray. Michael Beale's come in. Okay, it didn't work well, but he's been a little bit critical of him, so he's blaming Michael Beale. He's blaming Tony Mowbray. He's blaming behind the scenes, which he's had to deal with. He's blaming the players, because they haven't responded. They haven't done what he wanted them to do. So it's to me, it sounds as though it's the blame game. I think, first of all, what you do is have a look at yourself. You look at yourself and think, what can I do better? How can I get these players on board? How can I get them to play good football? How can I get results? And then if that doesn't happen, then you've got to look at the reasons why. But I don't think he's looking at the reasons why. He's just looking at, it's their fault. Now, it might be his fault because he's been put into a situation which is new to him. He hasn't got that, you know, again, he hasn't got that experience about man management, about managing players, managing a team, changing things, having that sort of authority to, you know, I think, again, you look at managers and they typify what your teams are on the touchline. And sometimes, for me, what I see, I think he looks lost. And then maybe he needs that support. Then what I mean by that support is that he might need somebody, it might be Michael Proctor, who's going to be in his ear saying, well, come on. But it just seems as though we just let things happen. And he's in a position, okay, whatever goes on behind the scenes, that happens at every club. There's a lot of things which go on, but you don't bring them to the table. What you do is you deal with it, and then maybe later on you say, okay, this is what, but get it right there.
I think we all know that Mike is a very reflective person, and he does analyse things in great detail. I'm sure that when the dust settles on this season, he will reflect on the team's performance, on each individual's performance, and on his own performance and what he can do. And just as we talk about Sunderland having a young team, obviously Mike is a very, very young head coach who stepped into the breach, you know, this season, given that all that went on before. And I'm sure he'll be the better for it in the long term. So I wish Mike Dodds well. I'm sure Mike himself would recognise that there's been lots that's not been right. Some of that he will accept will be down to him. If he feels that some's down to other people, well, that's for him to decide how he deals with that, whether he puts it into the public domain as he did with you and your press colleagues yesterday, Nick, or whether he keeps that in-house is up to him. But he will reflect on what he's got to learn, and the next time he steps up at Sunderland or anywhere else as a head coach, I'm sure he'll be better for it.
And just finally on Dodds and the situation that we're in at the moment, seems very odd now. He said that the players will have a meeting after the game. It could last up to an hour long, reflecting on their futures and what they should be doing. Very odd. It sounds to me like the sort of meeting. Sounds like the sort of meeting should happen at the start of the season, not at the end of the season.
Why are the players going to have a meeting after the game?
That's
to
what
reflect
they're doing.
On what? To do what? To decide who's staying and who's going, or go over what the season's been like. You know what I mean? Usually, what happens is last game of the season. Okay, they do whatever they need to do. Lap on, go around the pitch. You come in on Monday morning. You collect your boots, you have a chat with the manager, and then you're off. It's never been, in my career, I've never known the group of players to have a meeting after the last game. Never known. I've never heard of that. And for him to come out and just say that that's what they're going to do, hold on a minute, that tells me, are they focused on the game today? Or are they focused, or is he coming out and saying they're focused on having that meeting and it's going to be for at least an hour or more?
Well, we'll know 10 minutes into the game whether they're focused on the game, Gary.
Yes, we will. And
listen to Nick's commentary at 20-1 and see how focused Sunderland are. And I mean, remember in the away game in Sheffield, we're 2-0 up after about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Now, that brings us on to Charlie Hurley, Derek Forster. Charlie Hurley's family are pitchside at the moment.
Right. Just muting the. I'm just muting the commentary at the moment because of the walkout music about to start. Yes, Pat. Ask you, mummy, darling. Yeah, Paul says I think Dodds will leave the club after this game. Let's see, especially if we lose or draw. SGS says he clearly doesn't believe in himself, Cabby. You have to give the players confidence and have belief that your tactics will work. Paul says the players really lack inspiration. Of course they do. They haven't got that leader in the dressing room, even on the pitch. Never mind the dressing room. I'm thinking 2-0 Douglas Warwick. Hello, maybe 2-1. How are you doing, Douglas? You alright? Cheers for popping in, mate. Billy G, last 13 games show Sunderland attacking style was down to Mowbray. So Banner's saying rest in peace for Charlie Hurley has been put behind the goal at Roker End. And they're waving red and white flags as we wait for the teams. Yeah, Bennett's just said, need a statue or name a stand after him. That's a good one. A lot of calls for a statue for Charlie Hurley or name a stand. For Charlie Hurley, definitely. For statue. And Rach Carter as well. But yeah, he's a massive character, Charlie Hurley. He does have that unique claim as the player of the century in the centenary year, doesn't he? The self-taught fortunist. Hello, welcome to the chat, mate. Come on Wednesday. Yes, good luck to you. Massive club. Like I say, I'll be happy with a point today. I mean, I don't know if you can hear me self-taught, but I believe a point is good enough for you. Is that correct, yeah? Yeah, Charlie Hurley stand has a good ring to it. Of course it does. Absolutely. The players are going to wear white shorts today, which is another nice touch. They're going to out in Z cars as well. Hiya, Cabby from Malta. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. If you're wondering why you can't hear the commentary, it's just because of all the music getting played, and YouTube will just do me for copyright. It's annoying, I know. Got Z cars playing. We've got beach balls and balls getting bounced around in the Sheffield Wednesday end. They're going to be anxious today. Sheffield Wednesday. Lucky for the team stream doesn't have the sound. Should be a good day for you. Yeah, I've just muted the sound, Brownie, because of the music getting played. So hopefully that'll be back up and running.
Right, so we can't read the numbers, but that's par for the course. But wonderful to hear Z cars again.
Absolutely, Sunderland ran out for that for many, many years at Roker Park during the Charlie Hurley era. It was last played here, I think, in the week that Ian Porterfield passed away in 2007. And a fitting tribute to Charlie, and a nod, as are the white shorts, a fitting nod back to that era at Roker Park. An era that we've celebrated throughout this year is the 60th anniversary of the club's first ever promotion season, which of course Charlie captained.
Fantastic, Rob. Well, thank you very much.
All the very best, Nick. Cheers.
Enjoy
thanks very much for everything this season. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you for everything you've done for us this season. Rob Mason, Sunderland club historian. Sheffield Wednesday peel away to the north end of the stadium. 2,600 Sheffield Wednesday fans here today. Sunderland in there, they will be in red and white stripes, white shorts and red socks this afternoon. We're going to get a minute's applause before kick-off as members of Sunderland Football Club who played with Charlie Hurley, amongst them Colin Suggett, Jimmy Montgomery, Richie Pitt, are across to the far side of the centre circle from where we sit in the west stand with Reeves, which they're going to lay on the centre circle. There will be a memorial service to Charlie Hurley at the Minster in Sunderland on Monday morning at 10:30, and amongst those speaking will be Malcolm Bramley, who's now approaching the centre spot, the former Sunderland secretary who knew Charlie well. And listen to the crowd here in reaction to the Reeves being laid in the centre circle. Referee Gavin Ward just blows his whistle. Remarkable watching pitch side, all Sheffield Wednesday's coaching staff and players lined up, all Sunderland's coaching staff lined up.
Just mute the commentary again. It's annoying, isn't it? I mean, I would like to get you guys to listen to the atmosphere and the build-up, but the music, just YouTube won't let me do it. With you, and there we go. I will be quiet. I will be quiet now, and I will now leave it for you to soak up the atmosphere. Enjoy the first half, guys. See you half time.
Sunderland, they wander about the pitch. Patrick Roberts just tying up the laces of his trousers, stands on the halfway line. Sheffield Wednesday, who technically need a point to stay up. I think it probably will actually not come to that this afternoon, but we'll keep you in touch with scores from elsewhere. It's looking at the moment the favourites to go down are Plymouth or Birmingham, but Sheffield Wednesday, Blackburn Rovers are not out of the woods just yet. Sunderland, Bishop is in goal this afternoon, away to our left, all in yellow at the north end of the stadium. 3 at the back, Ballard, O'Nien and Elise, although they've lined up as a back 4 at the moment, with Hume at right back. Ekwa, Styles, Rundaway, Roberts, Oshish, Clark and Jobe. Gavin Ward, who's in charge of Huddersfield's 1-0 win over Sunderland at Huddersfield, and Sunderland's 2-1 win here over Rotherham very early in the season. Sheffield Wednesday here pushing away down this left-hand wing, trying to get the ball into the penalty areas, knocked away by Ballard to Roberts, who plays it down the right wing. Hume appeals, or Oshish appealed for a handball. He gets that. It's a free kick to Sunderland. Now the 3 at the back for Sheffield Wednesday are Bernard, the Jamaican international, Dishon Bernard, Dominic Iorfa and Liam Palmer, the Scottish international. So here O'Nien plays the ball out down the left wing, trying to get Elise away. Styles lets the ball run out for a throw to Sunderland, halfway inside their own half on the left. Elise will take this. Sheffield Wednesday, Beadle in goal, back 3 as I mentioned, as the ball headed away by Iorfa, I assume, because the Sheffield Wednesday numbers are impossible to read. Barry Bannon just plays it back from halfway. Beadle in goal, Palmer, Iorfa and Bernard the back 3. Valentin, Vaux, Bannon and Johnson across the middle. The front 3 is Musaba, Ugbo, who's on loan from Troyes, the Canadian international, and Josh Windus, the son of Dean Windus. And the ball back with Nathan Bishop in the Sunderland goal, placing the ball in the middle of his 6-yard line, and the whole of the upper Premier concourse in the North Stand is full of Sheffield Wednesday fans this afternoon. We're 2 minutes in, it's 0-0, part of a double bill of course, because later on this afternoon we've got Burnley against Newcastle. Roberts here on the right hand side, and of course he scored and has now given the ball away in the centre to Windus, who plays it back to Palmer into the centre, Iorfa, and across on the left hand side to Bernard. Forwards down the left to Johnson, Marvin Johnson. Roberts, of course, who scored that wonderful goal at Hillsborough, which took Sunderland to the playoff final 2 years ago. Bringing this out, Dishon Bernard, who began his career as a youngster with Chelsea, moved to Manchester United, and he was signed from Old Trafford in the summer. 13 caps for Jamaica. Ballard at the back, edge of the penalty area, plays it out to Hume on the right side, down the line, goes out in front of Mike Dodson, the 4th official. Tom Neal just to throw to Sheffield Wednesday. Marvin Johnson's going to take this, drops it to Barry Bannon, back to Johnson, back again to Bernard, who just plays a dummy round. Oshish throws him off the scent, into the middle to Iorfa, and then it's picked up by Vaux. Will Vaux, Welsh international, swings it out to the right wing, and it's come back to Bannon, back into Vaux, then down the right again, that right side of the front 3, and it's knocked away from Windus. I think it was Windus, it might have been Musaba or Valentin. No. We'll get the measure of who's out there shortly. Throw to Sheffield Wednesday. Looks like it might be a long throw.
Yes.
Because the big centre halves are jogging up into the Sunderland penalty area, and the long throw from the right hurled into the 6-yard boy, bounced through and bounced up, and Bishop caught it. didn't particularly trouble him, but it's one of those balls that could have been highly embarrassing. Thrown out to Elise on the left-hand side. O'Nien pushing it out then to Styles. Elise on the left. Vaux in front of him. He plays it down the touchline to Clark, who's clattered immediately. And a free kick to Sunderland. Just short of halfway on the left-hand side. BBC Radio Newcastle. We've played 4 minutes. And it's Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Much talk about Danny Roll, the 34-year-old German, appointed in October, has completely turned Sheffield Wednesday's fortunes around. But for all that, as the ball goes out for another throw to Sheffield Wednesday, for all the form that they showed, they're still in danger of going down. It's remarkable. It just shows how competitive the Championship is.
Well, you've got to say that the club's been in a mess behind the scenes as well. You know, we knew that when we was there. You know, the chairman or the owner.
Yeah. Not exactly a marriage made in heaven, that one, was it?
I don't think he's well liked.
No. Bernard here at the back for Sheffield Wednesday, closed down by Job, trying to get it forwards to Musaba, Anthony Musaba, the Dutchman, and up into the path here of Ugbo, who's well, trying to wrestle with Dan Ballard, but the ball won by Ballard, played back to Bishop and kicked up over the halfway line, and bounces all the way back through to Iorfa and back to James Beadle, the 19-year-old keeper who's 6'6" on loan from Brighton in lilac. Is that what you call that? In lilac and orange gloves. And it's played back to him again by Will Vaux and closed down by Oshish. He plays the ball across to the corner of the penalty area to Dominic Iorfa, the former Wolves centre-back, back to the keeper, out to Dishon Bernard, forwards to Johnson, and Marvin Johnson, who of course was at Middlesbrough for 4 years, plays the ball out wide. Now Ugbo through the middle, trying to get it onto the feet of, well, in the end, Luke O'Nien, who whips it off Musaba, and Bishop gets the ball clear. All the way back into the Sheffield Wednesday half. Vaux back to Beadle, and Beadle passing it out again to Bernard. Bernard closed down by Oshish, floats one down the left wing, all the way into the corner. Johnson's tackled, throw to Sheffield Wednesday, 8 or 9 yards from the corner flag, although Johnson's going to take it 12 yards and needs some support. Musaba's drifted across, Bannon's coming across now. Here's Barry Bannon, back to Johnson. Johnson's cross goes behind. It's a goal kick. Is it? No, it's a corner.
Let's give a corner.
It's just come off the defender. Was it Roberts? He swung his left foot through it. Must have just skimmed Roberts, and it's a corner to Sheffield Wednesday.
This is where you're going to concentrate here. Again,
Palmer, they played it back of the area, driven in by Johnson, gone out behind again off Roberts. Short corner from Vaux. It's a second corner to Sheffield Wednesday. Like you say, they switched off to that one.
Tell you what's strange, Nick. There's nobody in the box, is there?
Or in the 6-yard box. Floats towards Bishop, who punches it down and out, and this time for...
I'm talking about the coaching area.
Oh, in turn,
he's just gone there now.
Right. I was watching Bishop. He obviously didn't make contact with that. It's a goal kick. 2,196 away fans. So slightly shorter than the 2,600, I think, was the allocation. So now goal kick to Sunderland. Bishop in between O'Nien and
Sheffield pressed right up, haven't they?
They've gone right up to the edge of the area again. The three forwards. Yeah. As it's been given away. Slip through to Ugbo. Now looking for Windus at the edge of the area. It takes a deflection. And they were inches away from taking the lead. Musaba at full stretch nearly got his left instep on the ball at the post. Away. And it's gone behind for a goal kick.
See, this is where, you know, if you haven't got an option of playing out, this is when you've got to try to go long, but they're still trying to play out.
O'Nien plays it out to Styles again. He gets it through to Jobe. Jobe on the left, just short of halfway. Clark on the left touchline. It's just pushed out on that far side by Palmer. Throw to Sunderland. Elise will take this just inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. Drops it to Jobe. He gets a shove in the back. Gavin Ward awards the free kick. Gavin Ward all in black this afternoon. Luke O'Nien then will take the free kick. Plays it across the pitch to Ballard at the back of the centre circle. Wide here now to Trey Hume. Hume back to Ballard. And Ballard across to O'Nien. Forwards to Jobe. Jobe then just lays it off to Elise. A block made on that far side by Valentin. Pol Valentin, the Spanish winger. It led to a throw to Sunderland. Comes back to Ballard. Ballard to Hume. Sheffield Wednesday's fans singing away at the top of the north stand. Here's Musaba trying to work through. A foot in from Ekwa, who we've not seen a great deal of in the game as yet, in the middle of the Sunderland midfield. I think that might even have been his first touch, and that's 10 minutes into the game as Iorfa plays it back to Beadle. Sheffield Wednesday have enjoyed quite a lot of possession.
You've got to say that they've started the game brightly, haven't they, really? They've passed the ball well.
Swept out to Palmer, into the Sunderland half. Valentin ahead of him, wide on the right. He's got Elise in front of him. He's going to go round him to the goal line, swings the ball back into the penalty area, and Ugbo heads it over the bar from 10 yards. Couldn't get under it, nods it over. 0-0 still, live here on BBC Radio Newcastle.
I think this is where you think to yourself, you know, Sunderland have got to try to get a grip of the game.
Well, I said before, where's the midfield? I mean, Sunderland are not finding
we're struggling to get out
anybody in the middle. Jobe's barely touched the ball. Ekwa's touched it once, has he? Styles gave it away. They're not getting hold of it in the middle. Clark's trying to get it inside to Jobe, who gets the foot to it, gives it away. Ashish wins it back, finds Jobe in the middle now. Jobe is looking for Roberts on the right-hand side, halfway inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. He's into the penalty area, out of the penalty area again at the back of it, tries to swing it in. Bannon heads it away. Styles knocks it down. Roberts plays it off of Valentin. It breaks for Elise. Elise back inside to Styles, to Jobe, back to Styles.
Nobody in the box.
And then Elise again leaves it for Clark. Clark plays it, passes it through into the penalty area, straight to Barry Bannon, who gets it back from Palmer. Jobe trying to squeeze and successfully does so to get the ball to Ashish, who wins a corner.
Got to thank Barry Bannon for that one.
Yeah, came off him.
But again, lack of players in the box, haven't we?
And also the lack of anybody prepared to take a shot from outside the box. Have a go, you know, what have you got to lose? Corner then from the left, first Sunderland corner. Rokeren taken short to Clark by Styles. Clark trying to dribble in here, pulls it back. Roberts trying to get through, pulls it across the 6-yard box, headed away out towards, well, Elise, and he nods it back to Hume, inside to the centre circle. Ekwa down the left wing to Clark. Clark dribbling, Ashish just ahead of him, he cuts inside. Clark still has it, looks for Elise. Now Jobe tried to play a 1-2, but Palmer will hook this away into touch. Throw to Sunderland on the right. A bit more promise from Sunderland this last couple of minutes. Hume will take it. Drops to Roberts, back to Hume, back on to halfway. Ballard, short pass to Ekwa, and then forwards to Elise down the left-hand side. Out wide to Clark again. Clark pulling it back to O'Nien, across to Ballard. Ballard to Roberts. And back inside to Ekwa. Floats up to Elise in the penalty area. Palmer heads it out. Elise nods it back down through Ashish to Styles. Got no goals elsewhere, incidentally, in the Championship this afternoon. 14 minutes in. Elise tries to swing in across, it's blocked, comes out to Styles, nods it down to Clark, skips a challenge, rolls it into Roberts, it's blocked by Bannon, Roberts shoots just over the angle of the right post.
Just come at him, maybe a little bit too quickly, but he's got his shot away.
He did. So 0-0 here, as it is in every other game in the Championship at the moment this afternoon. Some important games. Here's Vaux playing it back to Beadle, the keeper, and headed away by Ballard to Equa. Elise back to Bishop. He, in his bright yellow, passes the ball out to O'Nien on the left corner of the penalty area, back to Bishop, and here to Ballard. Down the right to Hume. Back again to Bishop. As you say, Sheffield Wednesday just closed down straight away. Floats up to Bernard. Bannon plays it back to the goalkeeper. And here Beadle plays it out to Iorfa, Dominic Iorfa, 28 years old now, signed from Wolves in 2019. And Styles, good, strong challenge. He's caught himself, and the ball's broken here for Marvin Johnson on the left wing. Hume goes with him, gets a foot to it. Johnson still got it, rolls it back to Barry Bannon. Styles is on the deck, the ball headed out of the penalty area by O'Nien. Styles is still on his back, and Ashish is trying to indicate to Gavin Ward, who's watching. He's kept an eye on what's happened, but he's let play go on, and Windus lays the ball off. He's not going to stop play here, Gavin Ward, and Styles just sitting up now. The ball has gone out. The referee is going to see what the situation is with Callum Styles. So that's the situation. Gavin Ward standing over him, and Styles gets to his feet. The referee having a word with him. Palmer's gone across to take the throw for Sheffield Wednesday. Styles up on his feet, jogging back. 17th minute, Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Is he going to give it us back?
No, because it went out, or it went out off through direct play. It wasn't put out, was it?
In Elise they put it out.
I thought he put it out automatically. I don't think he put it out on purpose. I thought, but because Sheffield Wednesday have not given it back, well, that's what they're being booed
that's
for.
Why
but it's a goal kick.
Sunderland did put the ball out, and they put to give it us back.
But they haven't, and Mike Dodds isn't very happy about that. And the fourth officials had to come down and have a word with the Sheffield Wednesday bench as well. Bishop retrieves the ball from the net. Here's Ballard out to Hume, inside to Equa, back to O'Nien, passing it through to Jobe now, up towards and over the halfway line. He's sived down by Valentin. It's Jobe saying calm down to, is it Will Vaux?
I don't know.
He's looking at Vaux, almost saying to him, calm down, calm down. The free kick is taken. It's come back to Ballard in the centre circle in the 18th minute, or nearly the 19th minute now. Styles lays it off to Equa. Equa out wide here to Roberts. Roberts cutting inside on his left foot, curls the ball in, slip past Jobe. He appreciates the quality of the pass, but it went straight through to James Beadle. 0-0 still. Beadle rolls the ball to his left to Dishon Bernard, plays it up. Ugbo gets a shove in the back from Ballard, back behind him. Vaux.
How easy it is.
Now here's Windus. Windus on the break, out to the right hand side. Valentin, he's going to cross. It comes off the back of Elise, drops for Styles in the penalty area, plays it back to Elise, and he swings it down the left touchline Whereas the battle for it, which is won by Iorfa, to Valentin, back to Vaux and into the middle here to Bernard, who brings it forwards into the Sunderland half, lays it off to Johnson. Johnson back to Bannon. Bannon looking
Offside,
for the run of Winders. Flag stayed down. Winders is trying to play it in right across the goal face, along the goal line to the far corner. There was nobody following through because Bishop was lost. It was an open goal, but Winders just couldn't find the ball to beat the angle, if you like, and eventually it's put out by Sheffield Wednesday for a throw.
Tell you what, it must have been a good run that. As he said, he wasn't offside. Good ball in by Bannon.
And it was in the end, as to say, it was just the
goalkeeper's down.
Beadle's sitting down now. James Beadle just sitting in the middle of the Sheffield Wednesday half. He's going to get treatment in the 20th minute, 0-0. I mean, remarkably, that no other game in the Championship at the moment has got a goal. The important games are Plymouth against Hull, Birmingham against Norwich. Plymouth on 48 points, a point above Birmingham, who are third bottom on 47, playing Hull, who are in 7th place, who need to win because they're 2 points behind the playoffs to get into the playoffs at West Bromwich Albion's expense, who are at home to Preston North End. But West Bromwich Albion's goal difference is so far superior to Hull's. West Brom, a point will make sure that they are involved. And it's Leeds 0, Southampton 1. That doesn't effectively really rule anything out, except unless Huddersfield beat Ipswich or score against Ipswich. It's Leeds 1, Southampton 1, a couple of goals in quick succession. So Ipswich will be promoted with a point against Huddersfield Town this afternoon at home at Portman Road. Beadle still receiving treatment here. It looks as though it's his right knee, appears to be the problem. The ball sits at the feet of the assistant on the far side. Elise has just wandered off onto the pitch now. He's not bothered about the throw for the moment, and Beadle is standing up. Elise has come for a chat with Callum Stiles. At the moment, the assistant referee is going to take the throw because there's no one else to do it. And Beadle's having a stretch of his legs, and referee Gavin Ward jogging back up into the Sunderland half, and Elise, hands on his hips, is sauntering back to the touchline to take this throw for Sunderland in what in a couple of seconds time will be the 23rd minute. Quarter of the game is gone, 0-0. A couple of half chances at either end, but that's about all. Elise with the throw then. Sheffield Wednesday in their blue and white stripes and blue shorts, blue socks. Sunderland in tribute to Charlie Hurley in red and white stripes and white shorts and red socks. Barry Bannon loses it. Aushish wins it in the middle. Plays it here to Hume on the right. Looking for Aushish's continued run. Across comes Iorfa, I think it is. Or is it Bernard? It's Bernard, and shuffles the ball out off Aushish. Throw to Sheffield Wednesday, which Bernard is going to take down here a couple of yards from the corner flag on the left-hand side. Job is across on this right-hand side now as well. Bernard's throw down the line onto the head of Hume, drops to Roberts. Joe behind him, Aushish, and then out to Hume on the touchline. Inside to Ekwa, back to Ballard on halfway on the right-hand side, back to O'Nien. O'Nien forwards to Stiles. Stiles taking this on down the left, halfway inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. Job tried to push it through, was fouled. Free kick. Iorfa caught him. 25 yards, a little bit more out perhaps on the left of midfield.
Yeah, good opportunity here, good position to put a good ball in, quality ball in to that box.
Burnley-Newcastle follows our game this afternoon. Total Sport on Monday. A reminder that Total Sport will be on air through the summer after the end of the season. will stay on air 6 till 7 until the end of July, when we'll be returning to 6 till 8. But basically, you will have your fix of total sport every night through the summer on BBC Radio Newcastle. The free kick then, Styles is going to take this. It's 0-0. Clark is away to the left of the penalty area, the corner of the penalty area. Sheffield Wednesday have a line at 17 yards. It's swung in by Styles. Yeah. It's in. It's Luke O'Nien.
Offside.
But the flag is up.
Offside.
The flag up on Luke O'Nien, who peeled off and nodded it down past Speedle, only to see the goal scratched off.
I want to see that on bar.
The assistant well in line. Styles floated the free kick in. So brief excitement. It was brief. It's like at Watford last week, we thought Rigg had scored and it had gone into the side netting. Kick from Beadle then. Floats up into the Sunderland half. As it stands, of course, 0-0 suits Sheffield Wednesday. They need a point. It's now to Johnson on the left-hand side. He's swung it through, looking for Windus's run. It's going to bounce to him on his chest, but he's fouled Ballard. And a free kick to Sunderland inside the Sunderland penalty area on the right-hand side.
That would have been interesting if that goal was allowed.
Well, it would have been, in terms of Sheffield Wednesday. Would have had to come out and have a go, wouldn't they? Now, here's O'Nien, floats it up to Jobe, headed off him by Iorfa. Styles swings it back out for a throw to Sheffield Wednesday inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. Palmer takes it, Liam Palmer. Back to goalkeeper James Beadle. Often assumed that Liam Palmer's the son of Carlton Palmer. They're in no relation whatsoever. As the ball floats over Elise for a throw to Sunderland.
I'm sure he's Scottish, isn't he?
He is Scottish. He's got 8 caps for Scotland. Liam Palmer, born in Worksop, for whom you played once upon a time.
Indeed. Yeah. Played a couple of games alongside
Chris Waddle.
Correct. Good friend. Yeah.
And the ball hangs in the air here. A battle between Windus and Elise. Elise wins it, finds Styles, then Jobe. Quickly to Clark. Clark, he's slipped down. The question of the foul, no, the referee doesn't think so. Beadle kicks the ball clear. I think Clark felt he was fouled. The ball played out by the goalkeeper into touch for a throw to Sunderland. 27th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, and you're just thinking, you're just waiting for something to happen from Sunderland, aren't you? Really.
It's dipped now into no man's land, if you like, isn't it, between the two sides?
We get into this mode, don't we, where it's all just flat.
Yeah. And the ball goes out for another Sheffield Wednesday throw. Sheffield Wednesday sort of lost that initial initiative that they held. As you say, Sunderland now into that sort of mode where they don't know whether they come forwards or backwards. Iorfa at the back for Sheffield Wednesday. Back to Beadle. Out to Iorfa. Plays it across here to Bernard. Bernard down the touchline to Johnson. Back to Bernard. Bernard just strolling with it, really, to Vauxhall. Back to Bernard. And again, not in any great deal of urgency, but he gets to the halfway line, flicks it through to Ugbo. Ike Ugbo on loan from Troyes. Then out to Palmer. Ipswich 1, Huddersfield 0. So Ipswich at the moment look like they're going up as Palmer scores.
Good goal. Good goal.
The ball played through to Palmer, right side of the 6-yard box, and he smashes it into the bottom corner.
Easy.
29th minute.
Credit. And I was going to say, Nick, you know, we don't press the ball like Sheffield Wednesday do. You know, you look how we press the ball up the top. It's allowed them to play out, and I tell you what, it's a well-worked goal. You know, they've moved the ball with a little bit of pace on the ball, good movement off the ball. It doesn't go side to side. They're always looking for that forward pass. But what a good goal that was from Sheffield Wednesday. But it just shows it was too easy to cut Sunderland open.
And Liam Palmer, his 3rd goal of the season. Clinical. and Bishop will be disappointed to concede. So 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. And
excellent goal. But you know, they've got people who's willing to run, willing to good movement off the ball, willing to get forward. You know, and they're looking for that forward pass, Nick. You know, Bannon again, great ball by Bannon. But it's the movement off the ball what creates the goal.
Experience, Benno, experience. Barry Bannon slipping the ball through, straight through. And applause here now for James Shields, who so sadly passed away when he returned from Watford last week. Very, very tragic story. And well, what's turning out to be quite an emotional afternoon, what with Charlie Hurley and now this Sunderland trailing 1-0, and away comes Windus down the right wing, Valentin, the ball out for a throw to Sheffield Wednesday. Now they are in the box seat, as they say.
They're in the box seat, and again, Nick, you know, you just look in the box, and there's nobody from Sunderland there, is there?
No.
You know, the Sheffield Wednesday manager is there all the time. Look at him, directing his team. He's there.
As last week, Ashish is playing as the false 9, if you like. Job is deeper, he's just behind in midfield.
Look at it. You know, they're willing to close down.
Throw to Sunderland on the right, halfway inside the Sunderland half. Hume back to Ballard. Ballard back to Nathan Bishop. Bishop passing it to Luke O'Nien, immediately closed down by Josh Windus. Up to Job.
Like you've just mentioned, that immediately closed down.
And now he's immediately closed down and fouled by Iorfa.
That's the difference.
And
they closed down with a purpose.
Yeah, they're quite a physical team, quite big, athletic. Here's Ekwa. Back to O'Nien, across to Ballard here. Roberts is trying to make a run inside. Ballard down the right wing to Hume. Inside then to Ashish, back to Hume, just inside the Sheffield Wednesday half, back to Ekwa.
And the ball will go back.
Across to O'Nien, forwards to Job, just in the Sheffield Wednesday half, then to the left, Elise inside to Styles, back to Job, and back he goes into the Sunderland half, plays it square to Ekwa in the centre circle, and then out wide to Hume, halfway inside the Sheffield Wednesday half, inside to Patrick Roberts. Behind him is Ekwa. Ekwa looking for Elise on the left, drops to him, he plays it back to O'Nien, now to Styles, and to his right to Ekwa. And Sheffield Wednesday get everybody behind the ball. Ashish gets it out to Roberts on the right, tried to play it through the gap, but is blocked though by Johnson and comes out for a throw to Sunderland.
I'm just watching the coaches, and there's a huge difference between the coaches, isn't there?
They're very animated. Well, the coach in the Sheffield Wednesday box is very animated. I think
he's basically playing the game, isn't he?
Danny Roll, yeah.
He's up and down.
The 34-year-old German manager is very animated, as you say. And here is Job trying to get a shot away, blocked by the back of Palmer, the goal scorer. Comes off him, out for a throw on the far side. Play back to O'Nien. O'Nien now to Ekwa. Ekwa taking this on down the right of midfield. Ashish plays it out to Hume. And Hume back to Ekwa. Blocked by Bannon. Ballard has to come back here into his own half on the right-hand side, wide, and will play the ball back to Nathan Bishop outside his penalty area. We're in the 34th minute. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, as Hume swings the ball across now to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien to Clark, who's just in front of him. Clark taking it on now through the centre. He's going to play it to his right to Ekwa. Ekwa out to Ashish. Ashish back to Ekwa. And Ekwa then to Roberts. Hume to his right. Hume's ball crashes off the back of Ashish, comes down to Barry Bannon. And there's the Sheffield Wednesday coach bouncing up and down on the line, urging his players to get forwards, but Clark's got it back here. Clark into the area, trying to swing it in off the post, and then Roberts can't get his foot round it, but that would have been a terrific goal.
Great effort by Clark.
The margin between it being a terrific goal and no goal at all was the woodwork, but lovely play from Jack Clark, and it comes back to the keeper again. So 1-0 still to Sheffield Wednesday. Clark, who's on 15 goals for the season, 5 of them penalties. And here Jobe plays it to Clark again.
No.
And back it comes through for a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. 11 minutes, sorry.
We haven't mentioned Clark a lot, have we?
Not really, he's not got on the ball as much as you'd like to see him get on the ball. Beadle in his lilac kit, his big orange gloves, drops the ball to his feet.
Look how easy it is for Sheffield Wednesday to play out, look.
Nobody's pressing, just Ashish.
Look. Nobody's pressing.
Straight out to Palmer on the right wing, up over the halfway line. Styles goes with him, forwards to Valentin, inside then to Bannon, through the middle to Windus, looking for, well, it would have been a break down the left wing for Marvin Johnson, but Sunderland have got the ball back. Roberts into the Sheffield Wednesday half, slips it through to Ashish, immediately closed down by Iorfa, who pushes the ball out here, now on the left-hand side to Marvin Johnson. He loses it because he's been tackled by Roberts. Ashish on the right, swings the ball into the penalty area, headed straight to Styles by the defender on that far side. Valentin, I think it was, comes back out again, and it's mishit by Styles wide. I think it was Valentin who basically gifted the ball away.
Yeah.
But it was Styles' shot that was wide. So in the 36th minute, Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
And again, you look at this, you know, they'll play out from the back under no pressure at all, look.
Only Ashish standing
Only
on the 18-yard line.
You know, why don't we push further people forward, look.
It's passed to Bernard. Bernard bringing this out now, Dishon Bernard. And Ashish tries to push him. Johnson on the left wing, closed down, blocked by Roberts. And a throw to Sheffield Wednesday again on the left-hand side. Quite a lot of people leaving for half-time refreshments.
Must be a special one, is there?
And much revamping to go on in the stadium over the summer. Mentioned last week the fact that the speakers for the PA system are all covered in nets because the brackets are so rusted and worn. They could drop off at any time. There's plenty of other work needs to be done as well. We forget the stadium's over 25 years old. There's lots of areas that need a bit of tender loving care, and the team is one of them as Valentin pops in on the right side here, and it's 2-0. Windus from 6 yards smashes it past Bishop, and Sunderland find themselves 2-0 down now in the 38th minute.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the two teams, Nick. When they go forward with a purpose. The ball goes out to Valentin, and he's got a bit of pace. He's got past Alessi, and he's pulled it back, and they've got men in the box. They've got options. Windass is there, puts it in.
Quick, swift of foot, danced in on the right side of the penalty area, and Windass smashed it home.
I tell you what, Nick, they just do not, and we asked that question, we'll find out today if they're at it, and you've got to say they're way off the pace. You know, we talk about, you know, the simple things, the little things about pressing high. You know, you look at the two teams, how they press. Sheffield Wednesday press with a purpose. We press when we want to get there. There's no purpose, no urgency.
I'm assuming the mass exodus is for refreshments and not leaving.
Well,
a lot of people are standing up and heading off down the concourses.
Nick, it's 2-0. You know, we've got to be careful here.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday 2-0 up. They are pretty, I think, were pretty assured of staying up before the game. They will be in Wonderland at the moment, from as far as they're concerned. Here's Barry Bannon lays the ball off to Iorfa, out to Palmer on the right side, who opened the scoring. Then forwards to Windus and Vaux. It's come back to Iorfa, pushed out into midfield again.
How easy is that? Look at this.
Out to Palmer on the right wing, and Palmer plays it back to Iorfa in the 40th minute here now at the Stadium of Light. The noise you hear is predominantly coming from the Sheffield Wednesday fans in the upper north stand.
Too easy, we can't get near him.
Will Vaux swinging it over the top, flag stays down, Elise has to head the ball away. 3 looking to break on his shoulder. Equa now.
Yeah, managers. Excellent.
Danny Rawle is absolutely, he's just been non-stop. He's pacing up and down,
very
jumping up and down, very animated, yes.
Yeah.
Nobody in the Sunderland technical area. Here's Jobe trying to turn, playing it through to Al-Shish, gives it away. Iorfa out to Bannon, now looking for Musaba, foul though on Bannon, free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Reminder, following our game, we will be live at Turf Moor with Razor and Ando. Burnley against Newcastle United as a 3 o'clock kick-off this afternoon. Full commentary on Radio Newcastle as the ball played out here. And it's Plymouth 1, Hull 0. And at the moment, that is going to be sending Birmingham City down. As the ball played to O'Nien.
Look how they press. Look at Sheffield Wednesday pressing.
Windus is pushing. Bishop has to pass it out to Equa, who plays it across to O'Nien on the left of the penalty area. Vaux went to close him down. The ball's put out by Valentin.
Look where they win the ball. You're not in the final third.
Throw to Sunderland. 41st minute. Be a few minutes added on. There was treatment to James Beadle, the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper. Bishop passes the ball out again to O'Nien. Forwards down the left. Elise back to O'Nien.
It'll go across.
Across to Ballard.
Yeah, and then it'll go back across. There you go.
Back across to O'Nien. Closed down by Bow's shot block. Still has a chance here to get it through, but Equa and then O'Nien.
Look,
well, they sort of slash it away. And now Clark trying to get away here on the halfway line. Inside to Jobe in the centre circle. Out wide to Roberts, and he managed to survive one challenge from Johnson. Roberts still has it on the right. Inside to Jobe. Jobe turns, plays it square to O'Nien. Forwards to Elise down the left wing, and he plays it to Clark. Clark now dribbling at Palmer, down to Elise, pulls it back. Roberts puts it over the volley. 7 yards out. Roberts. Turn to volley and over for a goal kick.
He's got to hit the target.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Nick, he's got to hit the target. It's on his favourite foot. It's on his left.
He probably had a little bit of time to control that, actually.
Yeah. At least he's done well there. Keep the ball in play.
43rd minute, Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
But look how we press. We've got one person who wants to press.
One person. Again. The 2 centre-backs are jogging out now. Beadle's going to take a kick from the right corner of the 6-yard box.
He'll play it out here.
And then Johnson's jogging back up towards halfway now as well on the left. 2-0 then, Sheffield Wednesday lead. The kick from Beadle swings over the halfway line onto the chest of Valentin and out for a throw to Sunderland.
Nobody wants to get forward. We're losing the game, man.
They've scored 3 in their last 2 games. They beat Blackburn Rovers 3-1 at Blackburn. They beat West Bromwich Albion 3-0 last time out. They're 2-0 up here, Sheffield Wednesday, this afternoon. Hume plays it inside to Equa. Bannon's on his shoulder. Equa plays it across to O'Nien. Windus went to close him down. He pushes it out into midfield. The ball's given away. And Palmer trying to get it back behind him. And
again,
here is one back and played to Musaba, who looks up, trying to dribble through 5 players. Plays it back to Will Vaux, who swung it round the corner of the right post and crossbar behind for a goal kick. Bishop goes to retrieve the ball and places it in the middle of his 6-yard line. between the two centre-backs. Arsenal lead Bournemouth 1-0 as they approach half-time at the Emirates. And the players are going to jog forwards up towards halfway into this near side for a goal kick from Bishop.
Do you think they're still at the award ceremony?
One could surmise that's something that could be across people's minds. Here's Bannon swinging the ball on down the left wing. Ballard gets his head on it and then manages to run onto it, but Ugbo goes to close him down quickly. He digs it out, finds Hume, and he swings it up to the left-hand side. It's a good pass, or it would have been, had it reached Clark, who's having to work for this because Valentin's got in front of him, away down the right wing. Clark's going to get in front of him now in the corner, try and twist him and turn him, and he's fouled by the Spaniard, and it's a free kick to Sunderland.
I think the thing I like about Valentin, he's directing, he gets it out
just
of
wants
his feet
to run
and
down
runs,
the wing,
and runs. Get forward.
Hume on the right, inside to Ekwa. We've played 45 minutes, we'll have 5 added minutes. Here's Clark, he's dribbling at Palmer, into the penalty area, looking for Jobe, he tried to plant it. He's looking for the corner, he's won it, has he? No, the assistant
offside.
Given us offside.
But again, it's a poor finish.
Oh, she should stumbled offside. It was a poor finish, he was trying to place it in the bottom corner.
You know,
low,
Clark set him up, he's just
miscued
not made a clean connection, has he?
Goal kick again then, or free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. Beadle places the ball right side of his 6-yard box. Blue and white striped Sheffield Wednesday making their way back up towards the halfway line on the far side of the centre circle. The kick follows, and now it drops for Ashish, trying to hook it on for the run of Joe, but Iorfa gets in front of him, turns him, plays it back to the goalkeeper, kicks it clear. Ballard in the centre circle heads it on. O'Nien through to Styles, it's come back through Elise, who goes down, and then a foul.
Free kick.
I pulled it back, I think, Gavin Ward for the foul on Elise. O'Nien over the ball, 47th minute. Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Tapped to Ekwa on the halfway line. Back to O'Nien, across to Ballard. Ballard out towards Hume. Danny rolls still, his arms waving, his legs outstretched. Again, he's bending over and pointing and shouting.
Sorry, Nick, look where our forwards are. We've got nobody making a run.
It's just a straight line, isn't it?
It's
and
easy for Sheffield
no
Wednesday.
gambles. Sheffield Wednesday have got
it's comfortable
bank of 4 defenders who just move from one side to the other, and here comes Ballard trying to find Hume.
It's
out
easy.
to Roberts, couldn't control it.
It's too easy.
Out it goes for a throw to Sheffield Wednesday. Roberts scoops it up for Johnson to take the throw to Bannon, back to
no pressure.
Bernard across to Iorfa, and Iorfa bringing this out up to Valentin, and then back, he's giving the ball away. Leslie's won it now into Ashish, shoots, palmed away by Beadle, and Bannon puts it behind. Sunderland have a corner, the second of the game.
All of a sudden we win the ball high up, able to play Ashish in, he gets his shot in. Goalkeeper's got to make a save.
Second corner, over on the left. But Sheffield Wednesday lead 2-0. Styles will take it on the left at the Roker end. Referee's having a word with Jobe and Musabo, pushing and shoving each other, and they're getting their arms all over each other. The referee's warned them, he's pointing back at them, he's going to keep an eye on those two. Musaba's got his arms wrapped round Jobe, and Styles, the ball swung in, the flag is up.
It's flagging, it's gone out.
It went out, it swung round over the goal line. Palmer's down on his knees in the 6-yard box, and goal kick it will be. Goalkeeper's told it's not a free kick, to push the ball back onto his goal line by referee Gavin Ward. We've got just over a minute left of the 5.
Just say a massive thank you to everybody in the channel. 355 watching. Hit the thumbs up, click the subscribe button if you're new. Massive, much appreciated. And now back to the commentary.
Say on his head, onto the halfway line, headed forwards again from that far side and out for a throw to Sunderland. And referee warning Palmer about something, I think. Clark plays it across to Ballard, down the right here to Hume, to Roberts. Roberts back over the halfway line into his own half to Ballard. Ballard squares it to O'Nien. 15 seconds left or so of the minimum 5. Styles on the shoulder of Vaux. Back to Jobe on halfway.
It goes
O'Nien,
back. Where we are.
Squeezed by Windus. Back to Bishop at the edge of the penalty area. And Bishop drives this ball down the right. Roberts nods it back down to the path of Sheesh. Offside, and the half-time whistle's blown. And I think the boos will tell you, give you the gist of the first half, because it's Sheffield Wednesday who go in leading 2-0, and Sunderland have slipped back into that style of just playing it sideways and backwards with no real focal point.
But again, Nick, you know, how long have we been doing that? You know, it's not something which has just happened today. You know, it's been happening over the weeks. You know, everybody knows how Sunderland play. You know,
well, there we go. Just turn the audio down.
We're not playing with any pace or urgency to get that ball forward. Nobody's making runs.
Well, I will definitely say Sheffield Wednesday are definitely deserved to be in front. Wow, 2,190 subscribers. Thanks for another 2 subscribers there. 2 subscribers. Thank you. Massive, much appreciated indeed. So, thank you for the Sheffield Wednesday fans coming in today. I'm sure your anxiety will be a little bit more settled now. We've been there, believe it. Angela says no way they should do a lap of honour. They don't deserve it. Let's turn the desktop audio down a bit more. Thanks for the feed, sent Uncleaseabout. Thank you, welcome, very much so indeed. Thanks for coming into the channel. Angela says boo, yeah, and about 30 or 40,000 fans did the same. Lap of dishonour, get the firing squad ready, says Derek. Ben, Jim, hope to see Sunderland on Wednesday do well next season. Hopefully we can meet in the playoffs where both teams need to win as much as each other. Even better, Jim, how about top 2? So we don't have to meet each other in the playoffs and we're already up. I'll take that, will you not? Jane says, thanks for the live. Can't be there to watch it so I can listen here. You're welcome, Jane. You're welcome to pop in anytime. Gary Craig says, big clear out is needed, mate. Absolutely. Duncan Edwards says 19th. Wow, well done Wednesday. Yeah, you've battled well, indeedy. Got a new subscriber from. Oh, thanks Ben. Thanks a lot, mate. Much appreciated. You're welcome anytime, fella. Jennifer Andrews makes you wonder what they do in training. Angela Coleman, just think back to last game of last season. Listen to the match from Sunny Skegness, says Ashley. Yeah, welcome indeedy doody. And Arthur Andrew, just what the hell is going on there? We have a donkey running the team. Watson is the guy. Is this guy going to get a kick or not? Patterson, no. Well, Dodds, get out of Sunderland. James B. Sheffield Wednesday were celebrating staying up before the kick-off. I think they were. Duncan Edwards. Angela, last few weeks we have been exceptional. Ben Jim, yeah, we'll take that. Harold, my crystal ball says Sunderland will be in the Championship 3 more years before coming to the playoffs. Alone with Argyle, well, might be even longer. Might be in Division 1 if we carry on with this, carry on. Oh dear. Stephen Weirs, Sheffield deserve it like they've been the better side they have. So I'll be doing a Monday night live show, well, I have a chat and I have guests coming on. So if there's any Sheffield Wednesday fans would like to join me on my live stream on Monday night, just let us know in the chat and we can sort something out. If there's any Sheffield Wednesday fans would like to join me on Monday night and discuss you guys staying up, and we can discuss how crap it's been for us, basically. Can I turn the volume up? Yeah, there we are. I've just turned the audio up just because I'm talking. That's why I've turned the audio down a little bit. Let us know if that's okay, Michael. Sheffield Wednesday have pulled the great escape, says Ashley. Next season, just as bad or worse, says Beat Bon. Derek is having a latte with a shot. Duncan is in Colchester.
Usually been toward the bottom end of the Premier League table. Has been quite okay. They last met here 2 years ago. Final day of the season, Newcastle won.
What, Pet?
And a result elsewhere sent Burnley down
what?
to the Championship.
What you watching?
To avoid happening.
Go and see your mum, Don, because I can't reach.
A decent chance with a good run of 1 defeat in 8, so they're just a couple of points now from safety. So they've really got something to play for when it looked as if a few weeks ago.
Wow, 2,197. Can I make it to 2,200 subscribers? Now that would cheer me up after today's result if it stays the same. That's massive, the amount of subscribers I've had on this stream. I do appreciate it. I don't like asking for subscribers, but when I see them coming through, I do like to say thanks to everybody. So, thank you so much. Derek, you're welcome to come in and have a say, mate, and join us on the chat if you want to. Just send us a message on Discord. Derek, just send us a message, mate, and we can get you on the chat as well. Absolutely. My dad's got a bottle of champagne to open if we stay up. I would open it now, Martin, to be honest with you. Wednesday love making our heart go, but if there's anything we can do is turn up to big games, comeback kings. Absolutely. You're probably similar to us, Ben. When you're playing teams that you expect to beat, you didn't. Oh dear. Refuse to open it till the final whistle's blown. Yep, fair dues. Mr. Speed Demon, what has happened? I had to disappear first half. Looks like the Sunderland team has disappeared first half. That's what's happened. Letting Jack down might have guessed. Yep, and Charlie Hurley. Derek says, okay, will do. I have to say, Wednesday I'm pressing at the minute. They looked really lost at halfway through. Yep. Michael says thanks for that, mate. Appreciate it. I reckon 5-0. Bloody hell, I know. Like I say, any Sheffield Wednesday fans that want to come on and join me on the stream this Monday, let me know, and you're welcome to have an end of season discussion. Cheers for the subscriber there. Just 2 more away from 2,200 subscribers.
He thinks that it shouldn't matter where the game is played. It's about the approach and about the type of performance, and that's kind of been his message to the players. We know they've been brilliant at St James's Park this season. They've won 12 times at home, I think, in the Premier League, but away from home, only 4 victories.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not just any Sheffield Wednesday fan. If there's any Sunderland fans want to join me on Monday for the end of season chat on the stream, just let us know, and I'll take some details from you. You can join us on Monday. Angela says, "Cabby, shame the players do not show the same commitment to club that you do." I know. Victor Thirlwell, could we get Danny Rome as manager? Time will tell very soon. Victor Thirlwell, could we get Danny Rome as manager? I've just read that, haven't I? Anyway, switched on. Rusty Mackham, Gran Canaria, hello. Would you sell or keep Job? I'd keep Job. I think with the right players around him, I think he'd be a great player. Martin says Danny Roll Houdini. Danny Roll's Houdini. Well done. You celebrate, mate. You celebrate.
And I suppose the biggest concern is that 3 of the last 4 hours.
And there we go. 2,200 subscribers. Wow. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thanks a lot. It's made my day. Thank you. I am going to have a read now down some socials now. Thoughts on the first half. So here we go. Embarrassing, says Andrew. Darrell says, how anyone can be surprised by this scoreline is beyond me. I think only Rotherham have been worse than us in 2024. We've only survived the season thanks to Tony Mowbray has been gone since November. And Michael Bay, let's not forget, because he got us some points. He got us 2 wins. I think Hull 1-0 away and we beat Plymouth 3-1. Sean says, awful, but it's been for a while. The only bright thing is this season is nearly over. Well, 45 minutes plus stoppages, to be honest with you, Sean. Jason says, we look like a Sunday League team, absolutely pathetic. I have no idea what is wrong, but it needs sorting out ASAP. To be honest, I said 3-0 Sheffield Wednesday. They wanted more, and we simply don't turn up. Rohan Lever says, it's not only Dodds who was unable to motivate people. Speakman is unable to motivate or influence. Dodds' lack of ability, or is the yes man just following his boss's instructions? And Jason says, never been so disinterested in 45 minutes of football than today. So there we go. That is the general feel of the Sunderland fans. Another subscriber. Thank you very much. Thank you. So there we go, and I'm sure it's a lot more optimistic on the thingy. Van Sub from a Toon fan. Hey, a Toon fan has subscribed. Why, thank you very much indeed. Very grateful, mate. You guys play, I think, at 5:30, don't you? What do you think you'll do on that score then? Vaughn, do you think you'll win? Gary Craig, sacking Tony has massively backfired, and Kale Day and Speakman. Leave our Daniel alone, he belongs to us up the owl, says Anita. Duncan Edwards, love it. What about goal kicks? Ashley, Danny Roll will be definitely staying at Wednesday. Hands up to him. He done a brilliant job with Sheffield Wednesday. Michael Maloney, I'm sat on a bus listening to you live, been jumping around cheering when we've scored. Got some right looks. Forgot I was on the bus. Well, glad you're enjoying the channel, mate. Cheers for popping in. Yeah, there's no better feeling, is it, when you're surviving relegation? We've been there a few times. Let's go, Al from Mexico. Beautiful Andy. Josie, welcome to the channel. Since 1991, and Robert Smith says this is going to be another 4-0. I feel sorry for whoever's taken over. Poor Tony's team's going down. Bring him back on medical support if needed. Oh, dear. There's plenty activity in the chat at the moment.
Will play the winner of Birmingham's game at Easington this afternoon. That is on Wednesday night, that playoff final, I believe. But Monday...
Oh, dear.
And again, we've got a team that's just outside our area, so we're entitled to cheer on Heaton Stannington, who will take on West Auckland in the final on Monday. We'll do our non-league roundup at 5:45. Other local sport as well. In the Women's National League, last game of the season for champions Newcastle United away at West Bromwich Albion. That's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. In basketball,
right, I am just going for a half-time break. To the gents, I'll be back soon as.
94-71 last night. They don't bother playing the third match in the series, so they will play London Lions on Friday night. In the WBBL, it's the quarterfinals, but these are one-off matches. Both tip off at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Both our sides away from home. Durham Palatinites are also away at Caledonia Gladiators, and Newcastle Eagles away at Sheffield Hatters. In Speedway's Championship tonight, Berwick Bandits are at Shielfield at home to Poole Pirates. That's a long journey from Poole. And Newcastle Thunder in Rugby League's League One away at Oldham tomorrow afternoon. Elsewhere, more than 82,000 fans expected at Croke Park in Dublin later. Northampton travel to face Leinster in the semi-finals of the European Champions Cup. They don't often play anything other than Gaelic football at Croke Park. It is going to be a heck of an occasion later on today. And the Northampton director of rugby, Phil Dowson, is expecting a battle.
There are going to be periods of time where under massive pressure, undoubtedly. There are going to be periods of time where we have to dig in and get by. But there's also going to be periods of time where we put them under pressure as well, and we have a good swing at them. So it doesn't have to be 10 out of 10, but it has to be very, very intense.
It will be intense, I can guarantee that. Harlequins are at Toulouse in the other semi-final tomorrow. Talking of semi-finals, they continue at the World Snooker Championships in Sheffield. Jack Jones has just gone 13-9 up on Stuart Bingham. Stuart Bingham, the only seeded player left in the final four. It is first to 17. They will play to a conclusion tonight. About to play to a conclusion in about an hour's time this afternoon. Kyron Wilson resumes 14-10 up on Dave Gilbert. It is first to 17. Quickly, in Formula 1, Red Bull's Max Verstappen is on pole position for the sprint race at the Miami Grand Prix later. That's 5 o'clock start. Charles Leclerc of Ferrari alongside him on the front row. And 2 Super League matches in Rugby League today. Hull KR host top of the table St Helens at 3 o'clock before Castleford travel to Lee Leopards. But we are going back to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 2-0 down at home to Sheffield Wednesday at half-time. Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett back in just a tick.
Half-time highlights.
Total Sport North East.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Palmer scores.
Good goal. Good goal.
The ball played through to Palmer, right side of the 6-yard box, and he smashes it into the bottom corner.
Easy.
Valentin pops in on the right side here, and it's 2-0. Windus from 6 yards smashes it past Bishop, and Sunderland find themselves 2-0 down now in the 38th minute.
Total Sport North East.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
So Sheffield Wednesday already out for the second half. Sunderland are coming out. They're going to make a change. We think it's going to be Chris Rigg who comes on. Already out. Joe, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien, Ashish, Clark,
Robert,
Elise. Is it Roberts? I suspect it probably is. Rigg is definitely coming on. I've not seen Roberts come out yet for the second period. In fact, it's a double switch because Corey Evans is coming on for Styles. And Rigg is coming on. One assumes, as you say, for Roberts, that's the assumption. Well, good to see 45 minutes from Corey Evans, and Rigg comes on now for Roberts. And it'll be Sunderland who get the second half underway. 2-0 down, and Corey Evans will get the game underway with Sunderland defending the Roker end in the second half. Referee Gavin Ward just counting up the numbers, blows the whistle, we're underway. And Sunderland, of course, with their red and white stripes, but white shorts this afternoon, and red socks. Sheffield Wednesday in their blue and white stripes, blue shorts and blue socks trimmed with white. Ball out for a throw on the right wing for Sheffield Wednesday, defending the north end of the stadium in the second half. Liam Palmer, who opened scoring, takes the throw. Ekwa down to Evans, who slips over on the halfway line. As Ashish comes back and pops a balloon, Evans has won a free kick. In fact, it's a drop ball, I think, because of the balloon, actually. And it's come back to Ballard. Hume on the right. Out wide again to Chris Rigg. Back again to Ballard. Across here to O'Nien. And forwards on the left wing to Elise. Back to O'Nien, who tapped it back a bit short to Bishop, but he's managed to get to it first. Look. But imagine they've already got blue shirts all around them, and they won it back here. And then comes O'Nien to win it back again, and does so. Gets it to Evans, but there's a free kick. Whistle's blown. Vaux and O'Nien got tangled up just outside the penalty area, and in fact Windus gets to his feet. Free kick to Sunderland.
We keep saying that, Nick, that they're pressing high up, aren't they, winning the ball, not letting Sunderland play
there's
out.
Always three of them in the penalty area as soon as Sunderland try and play out. Over to Hume, slips inside, tries to get away.
Got no forward
from Musaba. He's carried on. He's run onto this. He's going to have to do it on his own at the moment. Clark has made a run in. Palmer cuts out the cross. Hume brings it down. It's played by Rigg inside to Ekwa. Forwards again to Ashish, who gets it out to Hume wide. He plays it back to Chris Rigg, and Rigg now with his left swings it across to Elise, halfway inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. Clark On to his right. Crosses, looking for Ashish, who glances his header well wide of the right post. Trying to direct it, but directed it easily wide. Goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Beadle in goal, Palmer, Iorfa and Bernard are the three at the back. Valentin, Vaux, Bannon and Johnson, 4 across the middle. And Musaba, Ugbo and Windus, 3 across the front. Sunderland, Bishop in goal, wing-backs and Hume and Elise, although it looks like they might be playing more as a 4 here now in the second half, with Evans now dropping into midfield next to Ekwa. Hume, Ballard, O'Nien and Elise, Ekwa and Evans, Rigg, Job, Clark and Ashish. On the bench for Sunderland still, Patterson, Pembele, Hamir, Mundle, Barr, Watson and Dack. Free kick to Sheffield Wednesday, just inside the Wednesday half. On the right, the ball placed by Vaux, Will Vaux, former Cardiff midfielder, Welsh international, plays it to Liam Palmer, back to Vaux, trying to get it to Windus, or Valentin down this right wing, battling staunchly with Elise. He just holds him down.
Card. That's silly.
I suspect that is a yellow card. He just grabbed his arm and pulled him down, throws the ball away in frustration, Elise, and the referee, Gavin Ward's calling him across to him. And he's having a word, and a yellow card is indeed brandished.
Tell you what, he struggled against him, and
yeah. You liked him, didn't you, in the first half? He was direct.
Valentin, you know, direct, got the ball, positive. He just wants to get down there, run at him. And he struggled.
As it stands, Ipswich Town being promoted to the Premier League. Plymouth Argyle will stay in the Championship. Hull City will miss out on the playoffs. As it stands. Now the free kick from the right-hand side. Johnson leaves it. Vaux swings it in, headed away by Hume, only as far as the left side of the penalty area. I think it's Windus. Bannon's made a run, but the block made of the cross by Elise goes out for a throw to Sheffield Wednesday. This from the left, a few yards back from the corner flag. Is that Johnson going to take this? He's going to leave it. It's going to be a long throw, I think, from Will Vaux. So, all those big centre-backs up in the Sunderland penalty area. Bishop comes and punches it. Comes out, well out on the far side. Vaux trying to let it bounce out for another throw to Sheffield Wednesday, which Marvin Johnson will take. Back to Vaux, and he plays it back again in the centre circle, where it's laid off to Vaux. Plays it back across here on the right-hand side to Valentin. Back inside, then back to the left to Bernard. Down the left wing, inside to Musaba, looking for the continued run on the far side of Johnson, and he's weaving his way around. He comes back and then lays it behind him to Bannon, inside to Vaux.
So easy.
And forwards down this left wing again. The run by Musaba is looking for Ugbo. The cross into the centre is blocked. Put back by Bannon down the right side of central midfield. Clark now trying to come out for Sunderland. Elise as a free kick. Ball bounced up, I think caught someone on the hand. And it's a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday lead 2-0. We're in the 52nd minute, live on BBC Radio Newcastle and safc.com. And this free kick, Vaux, I think, is going to take it. A bit of coaching going on from the technical area. Not Danny Roll, one of the other first team coaches. Windus veered offside, but he's wandered back on again as the ball is swept in here. Bounces down awkwardly. Ooh. And trying to dig it out is Ugbo. Comes back to Bannon, low shot. Joe blocks it. It swings away behind for a corner.
That was on its way.
Third Sheffield Wednesday corner, first of the second half. Will Vaux gone down to take it. Every time I say Vaux, I think everyone assumes it's Vaux as in the brewery, but it's not. It's spelt V-A-U-L-K-S.
Well, we could do with it.
Could do indeed, yes. Short corner from the left, played into Barry Bannon now. Bannon in midfield, taps it back to Vaux on his right foot, tries a shot, takes a deflection, and was that kept in? Well, the assistant wasn't in line with it, but Bishop's run back into the penalty area, rolls the ball out now on the right-hand side. Ashish lays it back off to Hume, who's lifted it down the right wing, looking for Chris Rigg, halfway inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. He's done well here. He's got away, but there's nobody in the box.
There.
Not one Sunderland player in the penalty area. And the ball dribbles back to the goalkeeper.
Neck. You've got to run. You know, Chris Rigg, bless him, he's ran, 20, 30 yards to get onto that ball. And nobody has tried to support him. That's a fine example, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was probably the best example, because there literally was nobody sprinting down the middle to get in there. Here now is Hume trying to win it through the middle with Ekwa. Joe picks it up, immediately closed down, and is being chased across the pitch and fouled by Musaba. And Musaba told by the referee to cut it out. Anthony Musaba, the Dutchman, signed from Monaco actually in the summer. Here's Evans. And there's Hume down the right, picked up by Rigg, looking to get it to Ashish, crosses, nobody there, it's cleared again, throw down the right. It's the Sheffield Wednesday fans making all the noise away to our left in the upper tier of the north stand. As Sunderland battling away in the corner with Ashish trying to win the ball, wins a throw. And the ball comes back now to Rigg, inside to Evans. Evans back to Ballard in the centre circle. Now to O'Nien. O'Nien out wide on the left to Elise. Back to O'Nien on halfway. Ballard at the back of the centre circle. And Ballard down the right wing to Rigg. Rigg cutting inside now in his yellow boots. Rolls it through to Job here. Little back heel to Elise on the left-hand side. Inside again to Job. Job back behind him a couple of yards to Evans. Evans to Ballard, who has to run across to the touchline to keep this in. Tap it down the line to Hume. Back inside to Evans. Back again into
Don't let it go back to the
Sunderland
goalkeeper.
Half. Ballard now trying to get it through the middle to Job. Flicking it on, looking for Ashish. Nodded down by Iorfa. He brings this out up to the halfway line. Challenge made there by Hume. The ball breaks for Vaux, who heads the ball on. It comes back to Ashish, and now Ekwa in the centre circle. Taps it to O'Nien, forwards down to Job. Job now trying to make a break down the left-hand side, out to Clark on the left wing. Clark, Job's asking for the ball, Clark's cutting inside, Palmer's staying with him, it's played into Ekwa in the middle, looking for Evans at the edge of the area. He's stretched for it, but it's cleared by Sheffield Wednesday. All the way back up into the Sunderland half, and Danny Rolls out there on the edge of his technical area again, getting animated, and Valentin is holding off Elise. Gets the ball forwards to Windus. Sunderland pause, thinking the ball had gone out, but the ball is swept through in the middle to Musaba. Great challenge by Trey Hume, and O'Nien will stop it from going. No, he can't stop it going out for a corner.
Great tackle.
And Hume left Musaba in no mistake as to who was boss in that challenge.
But it's a last-ditch tackle again.
Yes, it was, because he was through the middle.
Again, that's a prime example that they win the ball and then they've got people who are willing to run and get forward.
2-0 then still to Sheffield Wednesday. 57th minute, corner on the right at the Roker end, and up come Iorfa and Bernard. Palmer is swept in, headed away by Job. It will come down on the right wing here, and Musaba trying to dribble in, goes round the back of Rigg, still going to the goal line, pulls it back, a block made by Ashish, leaves it for Job to bring out on the left, looking for the run of Clark. It's run though through to Valentin on halfway, now down the right wing. Vaux, he's closed down by Elise, swings a ball into the penalty area. O'Nien cuts it out, comes out to Elise on the left here, and he swings it away
up front,
over the halfway line, back through to James Beadle in his lilac and his orange gloves, yellow boots. Quite the combo from James Beadle, the 19-year-old on loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. Back it comes again to Beadle, who spent last season on loan at Oxford United. Now walks to Iorfa, forwards through to Windus, laid off to the right wing and Palmer back to Iorfa, leaves it for Barry Bannon in the middle of the Sheffield Wednesday half, and then out wide on the left hand side Johnson back to Bernard, Bannon back to Dishon Bernard, then down the line again to Johnson, gives the ball away to Ballard, but he's tackled nearly by Windus, has managed to step away and wins an advantage from the referee. Now finds Ekwa on the right and out wide to Rigg inside again to Hume to the corner of the penalty area, dinks one across, and it's going to be put behind by Iorfa, who knew that Clark was on his shoulder. Sunderland's third corner of the match, taken short to Aushish by Clark. Clark gets the ball back here on the left hand side, dribbles into the box now onto his right, just a little chip through. O'Nien tried to hook it on, Ballard was up as well, but it's headed out by Windus, comes down to Hume, lifts it back away down the left hand side to Clark, and Clark now into the penalty area. He's being marked by Windus, the ball goes behind, off Clark for a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. 2-0 still to Danny Rolls' side. Beadle has the two centre-backs, Bernard and Iorfa either side of him. Referee is going to stride forward, so he's not happy with Beadle.
We've got one person, press and look, Ashish.
And Ashish chases across to get to Iorfa, but it's played out to Palmer. Forwards to Valentine, comes back into the centre circle. Musaba was trying to get away, Ballard hooks it away. Bannon again quickly realises there's a break on the left hand side from Johnson, heads it into his path, into the penalty area. Ballard cuts out the cross, comes out to Rigg, and played up into the centre circle straight to Dominic Iorfa, and he plays it to Bernard down the left wing again to Johnson back to Barry Bannon, and into the feet of Bernard, back to Bannon, 34 years old now, the Scottish international who's been at Sheffield Wednesday since 2015. Bernard up to the halfway line on the left hand side, out to the left, Johnson back to Bernard back to Johnson. So it's looking now like we're going to be playing both Sheffield clubs next season in the Championship. Long time since both of them have been in the same division together. The ball in the air, comes down now to Bernard, heads it forwards onto the head of Evans, out to the right to Hume, brought down though by Musaba, and he plays it back to Bannon on the halfway line, looking for the run down the left to Johnson down the left of the Sunderland penalty area, pulls it back here but too deep, and it's cleared from the edge of the area. The challenge made by Corey Evans, but back it comes here to Vauxhall. Ipswich 2, Huddersfield 0, just cementing their place in the Premier League. Musaba trying to get on the end of it in the Sunderland penalty area. The Sheffield Wednesday fans appeal for a penalty. Musaba doesn't, just gets to his feet, and Bishop in his bright yellow rolls the ball out here to O'Nien on the left hand side. In the 61st minute now, Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2 still. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Back to Bishop, he passes it again out to O'Nien, and out wide to Elise, and then back to O'Nien and Bishop. Windus presses, Bishop kicks clear up to Aushish, lays it off first time to Rigg, who skips away from Musaba, out to the touchline, plays it back then to Hume, and Hume back into the centre to Ballard, through to Evans looking to get it onto Aushish on halfway, but from behind Bernard fouls him, advantage says the referee. Ekwa to Job can't get round Iorfa, it comes back to Elise, out to Clark on the left hand side, looking for the run of Elise down the left, across comes Iorfa, smashes it out for a throw which Clark will take to O'Nien.
I think that tackle just summed it up, the urgency.
Yeah,
that they wanted to get now, that he wanted to win it.
Passion, a bit of urgency. They're not treating it like any old end of season game. Here now, down the right of the penalty area, Hume, Bannon slides in. Now Sheesh crosses, looking for Jobe, drops for Clark on the volley over. Goal kick. He had Valentin on his shoulder as he swept his right foot round it, but over the crossbar. Sheffield Wednesday still lead 2-0, 63rd minute. Following us, of course, full commentary on BBC Radio Newcastle of Burnley against
This
Newcastle.
is how we press. I can't get over it. We've got one person to press.
Again.
You've got to press as a team. Well done.
Ballard. Charges one down through the middle. Clark on the left-hand side. Trying to dribble into the box. He's tackled. Out comes Ugbo, leaves it for Windus. And he's going to try and get away past Clark. They tumble down, foul on Clark. And so a free kick to Sunderland. Ekwa now out wide to Rigg. And now to O'Nien, through to Aushish, and Jobe in the box. Scuffs his left foot shot, never got any power behind it, and comes out here for a throw to Sunderland in their own half on the left-hand side in front of Danny Roll.
And it makes you wonder why
they're going to make changes, Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Patterson's going to come on, isn't he?
Yeah, Callum Patterson. And Windus coming off for Patterson. Windus has scored the second.
Way up. Is he coming on?
And is it Bambo Diaby? Yeah, Bambo Diaby has come on for Valentin. West Bromwich Albion lead 2-0 over Preston. That's sort of cementing their place in the playoffs at the expense of Hull City, who are losing to Hull. So a double switch for West Bromwich Albion in the not West Bromwich, Sheffield Wednesday in the 65th minute. What has happened is Bambo Diaby goes into the centre of defence. Palmer's come out here as the right wing back now, in place of Valentin, and Patterson has taken the place of Windus in the front three. Sheffield Wednesday leading 2-0. As I was saying, just to reiterate, West Bromwich Albion leading Preston 2-0, with Hull losing at Plymouth. Plymouth will stay up. Hull won't make the playoffs. Here now is Patterson down the right-hand side, the Scotland international. Birmingham winning now, but that actually still keeps Plymouth up, because Plymouth are winning, so they would still be 3 points above Birmingham. So it's still Birmingham at the moment who are going down.
Got nobody forward.
Now Clark tries to swing it in the middle, but out comes Beadle.
It's only got one option.
Was too far back. It's come back through to Ballard, to O'Nien, and here's Ekwa back to Ballard. Evans in his own half still, taps it to Dan Ballard in the centre circle. Here to O'Nien, O'Nien through to Joe, but intercepted by Vaux. Ugbo overhits his pass down the right for Vaux. Runs out for a throw, which O'Nien takes back to Nathan Bishop. Bishop to Ballard through the middle. Ekwa. Corey Evans in the middle now, and Corey Evans looks up and he's going to try and find Clark. Only finds Jobe. It comes off the heel of Liam Palmer. Then out to Clark on the left, and he's given the ball away to Palmer, who lifts it over the top down the right, and O'Nien's got this covered almost back to the edge of his own penalty area. We're halfway through the second half. Ball played over the top. Aushish running onto it, tries to take a half volley. Good idea, but Beadle saved it. Wasn't really any other option open to him.
No, but what he has done, he's run behind, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's made that run behind.
Still 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Coming in the 68th minute, that chance. Now it's out with Rigg on the right, running into the back of the penalty area, tries to curl the ball in for Jobe. Al-Shish trying to nod it in, Bannon heading it out. Ekwa bounces down for him and he plays it straight to Ugbo, who's tapped it over the top of Patterson straight to Elise. Down the left to Clark here now. And now 3-0 to West Bromwich Albion at home against Preston as Clark curls one round, punched away by the keeper, hooked away by Patterson.
Well done, Jack.
For a throw on the right far side. It was straightforward save, but nonetheless, a couple of half chances in the last couple of minutes. O'Nien. Evans in the middle of the Sheffield Wednesday half. Ekwa now through to Hume, brings it down in the middle, and he looks up and he's still going, and he's got the ball away over to the left-hand side here to Clark. Outside the area, into the middle again to Evans, who will shoot, curls one round, well wide. Had a go though. And it's a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday, who will, I think we can probably safely say, we'll be playing Championship football next season.
So who goes down? Rotherham?
Birmingham at the moment, Rotherham and Huddersfield. Ipswich will be promoted. Goal kick then for Sheffield Wednesday. Swings up over halfway, Patterson flicks it on, and it's played back away from Ugbo by Elise to Bishop, who kicks back up to the halfway line on the left. Clark flicks it through, and it will be played back by Iorfa to Beadle. Swings it right back up onto the head of Ballard on the halfway line. It's flicked down now and played to the left-hand side, and Johnson plays it inside to Ugbo, who lifts it over and behind for a goal kick. And at that point we can get team news from Turf Moor, where Burnley play Newcastle United this afternoon. Here is Razor.
Hello Barnsley. Nick Pope, Joe Linton and Miguel Almiron return from injury as substitutes for Newcastle, and Eddie Howe's made 2 changes. The 11 is Dubravka, Livramento, Kraft, Byrne and Hall, Longstaff and Bruno in the middle, Murphy, Isak, Gordon and Wilson up front.
Thank you, Razor. Full commentary from 3 o'clock. We'll be heading to Lancashire after this game finishes.
Another substitution.
Another substitution. Barr is coming on for Ekwa. As Ekwa applauds.
Who's going to play in
the community champion applauds as he comes off here.
Putting Chris Rigg into the middle now.
Yeah, Rigg jogging back into the centre here, and Barr taking up his position wide right. Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Barr gets his first touch, Barry Bannon on his shoulder. Back it comes to Rigg, who slips over, but he gets the ball across to Elise. Behind him O'Nien, now Evans looking for Clark, who's trying to make a break down the left wing. Takes it down well. Bambo Diaby's in front of him, he's pushed it round him, he's trying to get in. Diaby makes a good challenge and just manages to knock the ball behind and helps Clark up to his feet. 4th Sunderland corner. Al-Shish is going to take this on the left. O'Nien's having a conversation with Mike Dodds, now jogging back into the middle. Al-Shish's corner towards the far post, caught by Beadle.
Comfortable.
Absolutely no pressure on him. And so it remains 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Beadle strolls out, the ball in his hands, in his right hand now, and swings it between hands, and is going to kick this upfield with his right foot, drives it up through the middle, goes towards the right, bounces away from Patterson. O'Nien trying to bring it down, Patterson closing him down into the corner. O'Nien plays it out only as far as Vaux. Back behind him, Palmer up to Ugbo at the edge of the area. It will come down for O'Nien to nod towards the touchline, then hook away with his left foot over Al-Shish and through the middle to Bernard, who plays it back to the goalkeeper again at the edge of his area. Sheesh has done so much running this afternoon to no effect. Arsenal 2, Bournemouth 0. And now Sheesh penalised. He thought he'd won the throw. Clark thought he won the throw, and Aushi throws his hand at the referee. It's a throw to Sheffield Wednesday. Clark now having a word with the referee. Bambo Diaby comes across the Senegalese centre-back to take the throw. Feigned to go one way. Now referees urged him to get on with it. Up to the halfway line. O'Nien brings it down in front of Palmer. Hooked away by Ballard through the middle to Barr, who's trying to get around Johnson. Barr still going. Now Sheesh just ahead of him. Johnson trying to push him off the ball, which he has. Now I thought that was a foul, but the referee doesn't. In nips Rigg. Rigg now trying to get forwards. Down the right for Auchiche of the penalty area. Bannon breaks but blocks it. Back to Bannon and down the touchline to Johnson. Hume pushes it on to Auchiche. Back to Barr. Barr back into Auchiche. Bannon tried to tackle him. He slipped it inside to Barr. Barr at the edge of the area, left foot. It's gone out for a throw. I think that was a shot. It's a throw to Sheffield Wednesday.
And the things we do, we're rushed to do things, aren't we? Because they're putting pressure on us.
Yeah, not a great deal of composure. 74th minute. There's people starting to leave here, actually. 2-0 down, Sunderland. Diaby with this throw on the right-hand side. Down the line, bounces off Patterson's head. Ugbo trying to win it with O'Nien. O'Nien wins the free kick. Danny Roll with his arms outstretched, quickly taken to Ballard into the centre circle. I have to say there is noticeably a lot of empty seats around the stadium now.
And again, you know, you look at the technical area, Nick, and as you've just mentioned, Danny Roll's been there majority of the game, isn't he? Coaching his team, and you look in our technical area,
there
it's nobody.
Ballard squares it to O'Nien. Patterson closes him down. Elise back to O'Nien, and the substitution's going to be Michael Smith. Remember him, the striker?
Yeah.
He's from Wallsend, actually.
Big lad.
Big, I think, a Newcastle United supporter, signed from Rotherham.
It's as though we've thrown the towel in us. Nobody in the technical area.
Trying to get the ball into Job. Through now, Evans can't find a way through. Back to Clark. Clark looking to try and get it out to Barr on the right side of the penalty area. And Barr back to Hume. Looks for a handball. Referee staring at it, but nothing. And the ball is cleared by Sheffield Wednesday. And they could be making a triple substitution, actually. They've made two. It's the ball played through, runs away from Evans.
It's as though we've given up.
Kick. I do know exactly what I mean about the bench. They're all sitting in the bench. Nobody's out on the technical area. So
taking responsibility from the touchline as though everybody wants to hide.
Yeah. Misaba is coming off.
You know, you've got to be out there urging your team on.
So far, Ugbo off for Smith, Michael Smith. Musaba off for Djihadi Gassama, a French left winger. And is that going to be? Are they going to stick to two? They had three players stripped off, but the third player at the moment is sitting back on the edge of the edge of the dugout and putting on a training top again. So a double switch for Sheffield Wednesday in the 77th minute. So the whole front three has been freshened up now. Michael Smith's in the middle of that. Ball nodded down, headed on
big
for
lad, Smith.
Sheffield Wednesday. He's a big man, isn't he? He's 6'3". Began at Wallsend Boys Club, Michael Smith. And the ball played by O'Nien to Ballard, out to Hume, looking for Auchiche. Strong challenge. A foul by Bernard, Deshon Bernard. on Al-Shish, on halfway, on the right-hand side. More people leaving. Ballard. Ahead of him is Rigg. Rigg back to Ballard. Again to Rigg. Looks for 09 here on the left. Down the left wing to Clark. Clark looking for the overlap from Elise.
That's a foul.
Got foul by Palmer.
That's a booking.
And that'll be, yes, indeed, a booking for Palmer.
But at least that was. We started to do it, what, in the
Spirited.
77th minute, 78th minute, that, you know, unless he started to make an overlap. We've never had that.
"12 minutes or so left of the season, Benno. I'll tell you what, on the upside for you, there's no phone in today.
Is that a blessing?
It's possibly, I think in the circumstances, probably a blessing. Clark's going to take, Humir's coming on, look. But he won't come on before this free kick's taken by Clark, swung in, nodded down by Diaby, and it's a corner to Sunderland. And who is Humir here for? You'd think you want to get him on for the corner, wouldn't you? But
yeah.
They're still waiting.
It's got to be for Bellingham or Sheesh.
Well, you'd think so. One of the two. It's usually Job if it's Humir coming on. Sheesh swings it to the far post. And then Elise is pushed over. Felt he was fouled by Iorfa, I think it is. But the referee is happy to let the goal kick get taken. It's Elise who's coming off.
Well, they're going to go 3 at the back.
So on comes Humir. Goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. O'Nien, Ballard, Hume, back with Evans and Clark at the moment for this goal kick. Beadle drives it up, looking for Palmer, who gets a touch on it, and Smith gets a touch on it, but it comes down, eventually out for a throw again to Sheffield Wednesday. Palmer, Patterson, Smith and Gassama all forwards down this right-hand side. A longish throw from Iorfa, bounces through here now down the right of the penalty area to Smith. Ooh. Bit of pushing and shoving going on between Ballard and him. Palmer slips it inside to Gassama, and he's trying to get to the goal line and wins a corner. Clark has slid in and knocked the ball behind for Sheffield Wednesday's 5th corner. This on the right at the Roker end.
Take a short one.
It's not going to be who's taking it. It looks like it is Johnson. Marvin Johnson going to take it this time. All the big men up. Birmingham 1, Norwich 0. But with Plymouth winning, it's still Plymouth who stay up. Here is laid off to Bannon. Bannon tries a shot, blocked by Rigg at the edge of the D. Bounces all the way back over the halfway line. Diaby nearly stumbled on the ball. Barr's giving chase. Beadle just passes it out to Diaby again. Humir is chasing Diaby, but it's played to Vaux. Humir gives chase still, but it's played down the right wing. Palmer looking to get round O'Nien. O'Nien's beaten him to it. Tucks it back inside to Job. Inside the Sunderland half. Back it comes to Hume, 82nd minute. And an interception on the far side, but the ball rolled away from Bernard. Out for a throw to Sunderland, halfway inside their own half on the right-hand side. Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Well, the attendance is announced as over 40,000 again. Can't quite see it on the big screen, but it's half that now in the stadium. If it ever was that, to be honest, today. It was a healthy crowd to start with, in fairness, and the Charlie Hurley tributes. Yeah. Referees
Bellingham
having a word with Patterson and Vaux, and Job, called the pair of them to him. Gavin Ward, 82 minutes played. 41,222 for what it's worth, of which 2,196 are from Sheffield Wednesday. Back it comes to Ballard from Hume to O'Nien, closed down by Callum Patterson to Jobe, back again to Ballard in the D at the edge of the area, out to Hume on the right hand side and swings it down the right wing, looking for the run of Hamir, trying to get around Diaby, and Diaby's got the better of Hamir, flicked on by Johnson, drops for Evans, back to O'Nien and through the middle Jobe, looking for Clark on the left wing. Clark dribbling at Palmer, cutting inside, Jobe lets it run through his legs, Evans just managed to squeeze it on, but at the edge of the area Johnson clears it for Sheffield Wednesday. Are these 8 minutes, the last 8 minutes we're going to see a Jack Clark?
Could be off Jack Clark, yeah. Is it the last 8 minutes you see of Bellingham?
Ballard. Lots of conjecture as to what will happen in the summer. Sheesh through to Hamir, trying to turn it away from Bernard, but eventually it breaks for Palmer. Out to the touchline in front of Mike Dodds, lifting it up over the top, looking for the run of Patterson, who gets his head on it with O'Nien on his shoulder. Jobe has come back too as well, and is rolling down the touchline. The pair are shoulder to shoulder. Patterson's got it in the corner. O'Nien trying to get a foot to it. It's gone out behind. It's a goal kick.
Yeah.
And Bishop pushing it out quickly to Hume on the right-hand side. Tommy Watson's warming up. I think we're going to see Tommy Watson for
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Evans to Jobe here in the Sunderland half still. Patterson in front of him.
Is this the farewell for Clark, is it?
I wonder. Down the left wing goes Sheesh looking for Clark down the left of the area. Crosses, headed away behind by Bernard. Corner to Sunderland.
This is the finale, you see. They'll take Clark off, put Watson on, then all of a sudden he waves, and is it a
Do you think this is all the...
Yeah, it's all staged.
All the conspiracy theory.
It's all staged. I've been working on that.
The change is going to be made. Watson's going to come on. And the corner caught at the far post by Beadle. 2-0 Sheffield Wednesday lead. 5 minutes or so of the 90 left. Beadle strolling out. Watson just about to peel his red tracksuit top off, revealing the number 40. And the 17-year-old will get a few minutes. Here's Jobe to Clark, Clark back to O'Nien. O'Nien across to Hume on the far side. Sheffield Wednesday assured of Championship football next season. It's looking like it's Birmingham City who are going to go down as Barr now, dribbling through. It's tackled, he's tackled, and it's with Gassama on the far side. He's got Rigg on his case, and it's a throw to Sheffield Wednesday. It's back in the Sheffield Wednesday half. Here is the substitution, and the number 20 comes up, and Clark...
Who's that for?
Is coming off.
No, never.
I don't know how you guessed that was going to happen. As Clark applauds the ground as he walks off here. He hasn't waved at them yet, he's applauded, he's not waved goodbye. And Tommy Watson comes on. Jack Clark, well, is it the last we've seen of him?
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Did you not? You'd never have guessed, Benno, from what you were saying. So, all 5 substitutes played by Sunderland. I don't suggest in any sense, way or form it looks like that the 5 are going to change the course of this game. Sheffield Wednesday leading 2-0 pretty comfortably, really. 87th minute, O'Nien across to Ballard in the centre circle, down the right to Hume, looking for the run of Rigg down the right side of the penalty, forced right out to the touchline. The applause for Charlie Hurley from those that are left in the stadium.
87th minute.
87th minute. People standing, applauding, but there are now probably only 15 to 20,000 people left in the stadium. Nonetheless, it's a nice touch, and Job gets the ball forwards to Evans, looking for Al-Shish, little flick with his head, looking for Hamir, but Bernard gets the ball clear. Job nods it down in the centre circle to Ballard. Hume plays it back to him, and across to O'Neill. Al-Shish, tackled by Iorfa. Vaux out to Palmer, and Watson gets a challenge in, touches it out, throw to Sheffield Wednesday, leaves Palmer flat on his face. The ball rolls and nudges into his leg, and Vaux picks it up and throws it back onto the back of him. As he gets to his feet, it's a throw to Sheffield Wednesday. Vaux was under the impression it was a free kick. It's a throw, and Iorfa is here to take it down the touchline, and Watson gets his head on it. Now Job going for it, but Vaux heads it through, and O'Neill stretches and gets the ball back to Bishop, who passes it out to Hume on the right-hand side. We're in the 89th, 90th minute now. In the last minute, Sunderland trailing 2-0. Hamir looking to get away down the left of the penalty area. Diaby's gone with him offside. Free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. And you can hear the Sheffield Wednesday fans singing up above, and the substitution, and coming on is Michael Ikiekwe, the centre half for Palmer. Final change for Sheffield Wednesday. Iekwe and Smith were the two bought from Rotherham the other season. Iekwe now taking up a position as a centre back, and Iorfa's gone as the wing back. 4 minutes of the season left, Benno. 4 minutes to enjoy.
And that's it, Nicholas.
4 minutes to digest.
Recharge your batteries,
Indeed.
Same again next season.
There'll be a lap. Well, I don't, when you say same again, what exactly do you mean by same again? Because the last thing we want is the same again next season.
We've got lots of work to do in the summer, Nicholas.
There is.
That's for sure.
There's Ballard here, gets the ball back from Rigg. 91st minute. Referees, what's he seen here? He's accused
foul by
Smith
of
on
Ballard.
Kicking Ballard. So Ballard will have the free kick. We played nearly a minute of the minimum 4. O'Neill brings this out, and what should be a celebratory last day of the season, well, it's a celebratory last day of the season for Sheffield Wednesday and their fans, as Sunderland win a throw on the far side. But dare I say, if the season had been a week or two longer, Sunderland could have found themselves going into the last game needing points to stay up.
Indeed, and I think this game just sums up Sunderland. You know, and again, I think we was lacking urgency, you know, and you're just thinking, we haven't really caused Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, we've had 2 or 3
chances, a couple of saves,
comfortable saves by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, from Sheffield Wednesday's point of view, it's been a comfortable win.
Yeah, very much. It was in the bag at half-time, and Sheffield Wednesday, who have been fighting a relegation battle all season, are going to end the season 3 points behind Sunderland. Sunderland's form since December has been the second worst in the division, behind Rotherham. Rigg away down the left with Watson. Watson on the touchline, and going with him is Iorfa. He's got the ball in the box, but Diaby has managed to clear it And it's out for a throw to Sunderland on the left. Rigg with urgency throws the ball to Watson. Watson throws it back to Ballard. Ballard into the centre to Luke O'Nien. We're into the 3rd minute of the minimum 4. Hume on the far side, and out wide to Barr. And Barr back again to Hume. Hume positioned in front of him was Gassama. Plays it through the referee's legs to Ballard. And now to Rigg, who finds Watson. Watson looking for the run of Ashish down the left of the penalty area. Dinks the ball to the far post. Bernard heads it straight down to Barr, who drives his shot into the floor and behind for a goal kick. And Sheffield Wednesday stroll, as they have done pretty much largely through the second half, stroll back up towards the halfway line. More and more Sunderland fans are taking their leave. This is not the end of season that we had hoped for way back in August when Ipswich Town were the visitors here. How contrasting are the 2 seasons the 2 clubs have had. Ipswich Town promoted to the Premier League, Sunderland on the fringes of the relegation zone. As the ball rolls out for a throw to Sheffield Wednesday down this right-hand side with 30 seconds of the season left.
Again, we've got to learn. You know, we said that last season, didn't we? You know, hopefully we can continue our work which we did last season, where we finished in the playoffs, but we've gone backwards big time. Now we've got to make sure that we get back, or get that foundation again for next season.
Indeed, as seconds now of the game remain, and it's Gassama trying to get down the right of the Sunderland penalty area. Wins a free kick, Luke O'Nien, for the foul by the Frenchman. The referee's going to blow here, and Sunderland's season is over. Cheers from the Sheffield Wednesday fans. Sheffield Wednesday stay in the Championship. Sunderland's players, well, they just stand. 1 or 2 of them fall on their backs. And Sheffield Wednesday's players from the dugout race onto the pitch. Chris Rigg helped to his feet by Callum Patterson. And it's Sheffield Wednesday who are celebrating here. And Sunderland have sleepwalked through the second half of the season. From where they were in December, it's been fairly shambolic.
It has been shambolic, and you know, you spoke about after the game having that meeting. You know, it'd be interesting to see what's going to be said in that meeting, and what is going to be discussed. Is today's game going to be discussed, or are they going to discuss what's going to happen next season if players want to be here or don't want to be here? And we can't afford to be in this position again, because you look on that display today, Nick, and basically it's not good enough. It's not good enough, and we've been saying that for weeks. But slowly, surely, we've been getting worse.
Welcome, massive congratulations to Sheffield Wednesday. They were the
season illustrated now by the fact Sunderland's players are going to do a lot.
Celebrate.
Sheffield Wednesday's players are racing down to the away end to celebrate, and Sunderland fans are still leaving in their hundreds, not even wanting to stay behind. Exactly.
What are doing at that point? And again, we go back to when did that all come in?
I know, and I'm wondering now if they are going to do it. Evans is heading off down the tunnel, but
since December.
It's Sheffield Wednesday's players and coaching staff who are all on the pitch at the moment. It's a big summer, as you've been saying, for Sunderland this year. A lot of change, a lot of recruitment to be done in every department.
They've got the job,
and there'll be a lot of change within the stadium as well.
Did not look interested today at all.
Structurally, that's needing doing, and in a way the stadium, the shabbiness of the stadium now is a metaphor for the football team itself.
The football team and the football club.
Absolutely fantastic.
And it'd be interesting to see how Mike Dodd seen that game, how he's seen his role, because for me, I think it just summed it up, especially in that technical area when at times it was missing. There was nobody there, nobody to guide the team.
So you can hear me a bit better now. I'll turn it down. Yeah, fans are deserting in the droves. I don't think they'll be given a lap of honour for the Sunderland players. Like I say, well done to Sheffield Wednesday. They deserved it today. They wanted it more. Enjoy your champagne and enjoy staying up. We've been there many times, like I say, we know what it's like. It's just zooming in on the Sheffield Wednesday fans, and they look like they are very relieved. And so they should. They shouldn't be down there. Ian Waller, cheers for what you do. You're welcome. You enjoy your weekend as well. There will be more players than the fans if they do a lap. As I said, the fans should be on the pitch and the players on the stands. You're welcome, Martin. Enjoy that champagne. Don't drink it too quick, mate, because it'll go out of your head. I don't think the players are going to do a lap of honour even. What are they going to do a lap for? Yeah? Yeah, it's party time for Sheffield Wednesday. Cheers, Mackham down south, for doing what you've done this season. You're welcome, Mackham. Slappy Maguire says, well done, Wednesday. But as far as Sunderland's concerned, it is just not good enough. There's got a lot of work to do. Good choice, Derek, absolutely. So it'll be Sheffield Wednesday against Sheffield United next season, twice, so that'll be an interesting fixture.
Boring. Well, Sheffield Wednesday having their pictures taken. They're all sitting down now at the edge of the penalty area at the north end of the stadium. More members of their coaching team are running out to join them.
Out that side, who do you think will be in a starting lineup next season? Goodness knows. I really don't know, Slappy. I really don't. Haaland, I almost chewed my foot off. Argyle made it. We'll be back to banter next season. I guess the barbecue will be boiling tonight. Well done, Harold. Welcome and enjoy your foot tonight, mate. Well done. Benno's right. A lap of honour for what? Absolutely. David, this team has no purpose. Victor, cheers, Cabby. Thank you again. Top man. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Goodbye, goodbye, bar. Goodbye, him here. Angela, the only ones who else was slapping.
In the penalty area away to our left. It's finished. The season's finished at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
I've been up and down the country.
So there we go. That is the season done and dusted, indeedy. So I will end the stream now, and I will say once again, well done, Sheffield Wednesday. There was only that one idiot I had to boot because you're just being a bit of a knob. But I'll be doing a review of the match today, so stay tuned for that. And I'll be doing a live show on Monday as well to talk about the season and whatnot. So well done, Sheffield Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night or your weekend, whatever you're doing. It's going to feel like a long Saturday today because kick-off's earlier. So once again, thank you very much, and we'll catch you later. Thanks all this season for watching.